has made the trip to the D.C. area for an NFL contest. It is a Halloween Day battle between two storied franchises as Green Bay gets set to take on Washington. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dan Miller along with Brian Baldinger. And Brian, let's start with the Redskins. They committed 2-4 on the season. The defense has been solid. It's the offense that struggled, and the man feeling the heat right now is Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell has to play better football, Dan. I mean, he said that he has struggled, that the offense and the passing game has not clicked, so they spent the bye week working on it. They need more productivity from it. Their leading receiver, Lavernius Coles, no touchdown catches. They need to get the ball to the wide receivers today. And really, they've been carried this year by the #1 ranked defense in the NFL. They haven't seen anybody like the Packers, but they've been led by the two corners. Fred Smoot, Sean Springs have played great football. They'll get tested today by the #2 offense in pro football.
And that #2 offense belongs to the Green Bay Packers. And 2 weeks ago, they were struggling at 1-4. All of a sudden, they've turned it around. How have they done it?
Well, it starts with the quarterback, Brett Favre. It always does, and he's carried him. He has elevated his game tremendously. He's 17 of 27 on third down conversions the last 2 weeks. They've kept the team on the field in offense, and he's found a deep threat. Javon Walker right now leads the NFL in receiving yards. Look for him to go to Walker deep and often in this game. It's become his favorite target.
We are getting set to go, and there is still time to select your singular fantasy football team for this week. Text message.
It's chilly out there, so prepare. Prepare like never before for the kind of chili that rattles your bones and shakes.
Needs to do is watch this game for the next 3 hours, and you're going to know what's going to happen on Tuesday.
This
right,
is the
Paul?
election game, Dan. It's the election game right here. You know, all the candidates out there, Bush and Kerry right now, they're still campaigning. Tune into this game. They'll find out what's going on.
I don't understand. We have Senator Kerry today in New Hampshire, Ohio, and Florida. Yeah. President Bush stumping in Florida and Ohio himself. They should be here rooting for these teams. President Bush should be on the sidelines with the Redskins. Senator Kerry on the sideline with the Packers.
Well, if they can't be here, they have to have the dish day because they got to tune into this one. I mean, it's an amazing stat. You ask the coaches, and they're like, they really don't care about the election. They just want to win the game. So the Redskins win, Bush stays in. You know, right now the Packers win. Kerry is the challenger, and he wins. I mean, that's since 1936. It's foolproof.
Well, you know, the thing is, most NFL coaches in Baltimore, you know, you've been around enough of them. Some of them don't even know there's an election on Tuesday.
Oh, that's true.
Some of them don't even know what's happening other than their football team and the team they're playing that week.
They are in the tunnel. And both these teams need this game in the worst way. I mean, the Packers are trying to put a 3-game win streak together to get to 4-4 before their bye week. The Redskins try to put their first 2-game win streak together under Joe Gibson, the second time here. And so there is a lot on the line here this afternoon.
As you can see, first time the Redskins have been at home against the Packers in 25 years. And, of course, that was at a different venue, that being RFK Stadium. We are set to go here. Washington Redskins have won the toss and chosen to receive Chad Morton and James Thrash back deep. As the Redskins, coming off a bye week, trying to get their season turned around, coming into this one at 2-4. Ryan Longwell to kick it off for the red-hot Packers. As we told you, 2 weeks ago, this team was 1-4, and all of a sudden, they're playing as well as anybody in the National Football League. But they are in for a test today. These Redskins have had 2 weeks to get ready. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. We've got a beautiful day. Game time temperature 73 degrees just outside the nation's capital. Longwell with a kick. Morton will take it at about the 6-yard line. Morton back to the 15 to the 20, finds an opening, loses his feet, goes down at the 34, and that's where the Washington Redskins will have it. And when they come out, that'll be Mark Brunell leading the way. He has struggled so far this year, and he'll lead the rest of this Redskin offense.
Well, this offense is a running offense. They want to get Clinton Portis the ball. The offensive line wants to establish the line of scrimmage. But the most points this team has scored all year is 18. They're going to need more than 18 points today to win the game. They've got to get the passing game on track.
First down and 10 for Washington, opening possession of the game. Clinton Portis gets it right side. Portis fights his way out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, gain of 5. Niall Diggs making the stop for that Green Bay defense.
Well, they're missing a couple guys in the secondary. You know, Darren Sharper's not going to start today. Valju will take his place, but they've got Grady Jackson back in the middle there. He's their nose tackle, and this defense is built around his ability to clog the middle of that line.
Clinton Portis last time out, 36 carries. It was like old times, like Joe Gibbs was calling on John Riggins again.
Yeah, but, you know, they only scored 13 points in Chicago, and that probably will not get it done today.
2nd down and 5. Brunell calling things out at the line. Again, Portis the deep back behind him. The give on the end around is to Rod Gardner. Gardner, as Green Bay reads it pretty well, is going to pick up the 1st down. Al Harris forced him out, but the Packers did a nice job of reading that and extending the field.
You know, you mentioned that Mark Brunell audible on that last play. We watched practice on Friday, and I thought it was an audible practice. All he did all afternoon long on Friday was change plays. In fact, he came into our meeting on Friday with us, and his voice was hoarse from shouting audibles all day. They're trying to find the right play each time at the line of scrimmage.
Redskins picking up a 1st down on their opening possession. They've got it. 1st down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Brunell, quick pass out left side. Lavernius Coles. Coles trying to get the corner. Can't quite do it across the 50 into Green Bay territory. Gain of 6 on the play. Bao Ju making the stop.
Well, here, Dan, here's exactly what Mark Brunell was looking at on that play. He's just looking at the coverage here. The coverage will tell you that right here, there's nobody guarding him on that play. The coverage is off. Mark Brunell's trying to find the open man. He gets a block on the outside from Rod Gardner. The result is 6 yards on 1st down. They'll take that.
2nd down and 4 right here.
It's another audible.
Again, changing it at the line. Play clock winding down. He's got to get the snap. Does get it off. Brunell to pass. Here comes the rush. Gets it out there, and it is complete inside the 40-yard line to Taylor Jacobs, and that's going to be a 1st down and a gain of 9.
There's a couple guys that they've tried to get involved in this offense this week. One of them is Taylor Jacobs, who's going against Al Harris one-on-one on the outside. Al Harris is a physical player, almost knocked Jacobs off his feet there. Al Harris is playing with a badly sprained knee. It would be a good part of their game plan to go out and test him to see how he's going to be able to plant and cut, because right there, Taylor Jacobs was able to drive him off the ball and get separation.
Jacobs checks out of the game. H-back Chris Cooley back in. Redskins again, 1st down and 10, and again they give it to Portis. Portis inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Gain of 4. Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, with the tackle for Green Bay.
I tell you, right there is the old counter trade that the Hogs ran. Russ Grimm and Joe Jacoby. Right here, watch it. They pull the guard and the tackle here. Here comes Derek Dockery along with Samuels. And in this league, you hardly ever see the guard the tackle pull anymore, because the backside end will trail that play and catch it from behind.
2nd down and 6 for Mark Brunell and the Redskins. Gardner in motion. Quick pass out to Gardner. He can throw it. That was a backwards pass. Looking right side for Portis. Throws it incomplete. Redskins going to the bag of tricks early. Ahmad Carroll did a good job of reading that and stayed in coverage.
Well, Rod Gardner was a high school quarterback growing up, and they've used that play in the past. Steve Spurrier used it when he was here. They tried to get Clinton Portis on a linebacker who's going to come out here and sneak out the back door here. Pretty well thrown ball, and there was some contact by Ahmad Carroll with the ball in the air.
3rd down and 6 now. Liddell Betts is checked in. Portis out of the game. Robert Royal in motion for the Redskins, trying to keep this drive alive. Brunell to pass. Sets, looks, overthrows Taylor Jacobs, who was wide open and would have had a 1st down. And this crowd's going to let Brunell hear about that.
Well, they should, because that's what's happened to Mark Brunell. He has not been accurate, just a hair over 50% accuracy, and he had a wide open receiver in the middle of the field. Here's Jacobs going to run in and run a dig here. Trying to get him involved in the offense. He's really become the number 3 receiver here in front of James Thrash. Mark Brunell has to make that throw. That wasn't even close.
Well, you would have been looking at about a 52 or 53-yard field goal for Ola Kimbrett. Instead, Joe Gibbs opts to punt. Tom Tupa comes on. Antonio Chapman back deep for Green Bay. Tupa trying to hang it up there. Chapman calls for a fair catch, makes it at the 11-yard line. And that's where the Packers will take over. Brett Favre's got the football when we come back. Welcome back. Green Bay, Washington, scoreless in the 1st quarter. Packers have it for the first time this afternoon. That means our first look at Brett Favre, his 197th consecutive start And Brett Favre is the main reason this team has been able to turn that 1-4 start around and win 2 straight games.
Well, you know, it's Brett Favre's first trip to Washington, to our nation's capital here to play the Redskins since his rookie year when he was with the Falcons. These fans, I think, are as excited to watch Favre play as they are to see their own team win today.
Packers from the 11. The give is to Ahman Green. Green powers his way across the line of scrimmage, gets it out to about the 15-yard line. Let's take a look at the rest of that Packer offense.
I tell you, this offensive line has come together. This is a veteran group. Ray Rugemer here now in his 4th start, taking over from Mike Flanagan, has really improved his play. But they have kept Brett Favre healthy. They've only been sacked 4 times all year. And this group here is a talented group. With Ahman Green in the backfield, Tavon Walker and Donald Driver in motion right now. A lot of weapons.
Favre on 2nd down. Again, the give is to Green. Flag comes in. Not much there. Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. We'll wait to hear from our referee, Tom White, what that penalty is.
That defense came out flying around, didn't they? I mean, they're excited.
It looks like it's going to be a hold against the Packers as the initial signal, which we got from Joe Salavea.
Holding, number 67, offense. That's after distance to the goal, remains 2nd down.
That'll back the Packers up. Let's take a look at this Redskin defense, which has played so well so far this season.
Well, they're the #1 ranked defense in pro football, and they're doing it without LeVar Arrington. They're going to do it without their starting safety, Sean Taylor, today, without Mike Barrow. This is a collection of misfits, guys that have been out on the street. Antonio Pierce, Lamar Marshall were never drafted. Andre Lott gets a start today for Taylor. But those corners, Smoot and Springs, have kept this thing together.
Packers backed up from their own 7. Toss coming left side is to Ahman Green. Tripped up, down he goes. Another flag comes in there. Green taken down after a short gain. Fred Smoot coming up to force it from his quarterback position.
It looked like Smoot might have... Somebody tripped Ahman Green coming out of the backfield.
Tripping, number 21, the 10-yard penalty.
I think this is an accidental trip by Fred Smoot. He's out here with Nick Lucci right here. He's just going down to take out the interference. And while rolling, his leg just happened to catch Ahman Green. That was unintentional, but it's the right call.
Says he's innocent, folks. Tony Fisher checks into the game for the Packers. Packers with 3 wide receivers in. Far back to pass, first pass of the game, throws it out right side's got it complete to Donald Driver. Driver taken down inside the 25. Quickly, let's go to LA now for a game break. JB, what's up?
Hey, Dan, as you all know, Lions looking to stay perfect on the road. Joey Harrington, play action, rolling right, hitting Kevin Jones, his first receiving touchdown of his career. Harrington 4-4, 55 yards on the drive. Detroit up 7-0. Hey, Brian, Dan's back in his old stomping grounds.
Yeah, man, the Lions trying to win 4 road games in a row after losing 24 in a row.
Najee Davenport gets the call. Not much there for him either. Tripped up by Marcus Washington.
See, when you're the #1 ranked defense in football and you get the best challenge that has come to you all year, the Green Bay Packers offense, by far the best offense you've seen, you have to raise your game and elevate it even higher. And that means you have to play with extreme emotion. And that's what the Redskins have come out here today with. This is what you're looking at. Packers offense and Redskins defense.
Good battle setting up right there. Highly ranked.
Starts right here on 3rd down, Dan. Packers the best on 3rd down. Redskins the best defense on 3rd down.
Something's got to give right here. 3rd down and 3 for Brett Favre and the Packers. 4 receivers in the game. Favre goes to his running back, Tony Fisher. It's going to be incomplete. Fisher couldn't hang on. Check that. He did catch it as he fell down to the ground. It looks like it's going to be a gain of 2.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be.
Fisher was juggling the football, and it may have fallen into his lap as he fell.
It's right on the yellow stripe. They're going to have to measure this. Packers scored the first 7 times they had the ball at Lambeau Field against the Cowboys last Sunday.
And indeed, that juggling catch will result in a 1st down for Green Bay.
Favre does not care who he throws the football to on 3rd down. That's Mike Sherman, the play caller, now taking over for Tom Rosley. And I think it's made a difference. Brett Favre has been protected. He gets the ball out quick to start games, and Mike is really adamant about taking input from Brett Favre and what he likes to start a game.
Big backfield for Favre here. William Henderson and Nick Lucci behind him. Favre to throw. He's got the protection. He's got Henderson. Good gain out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Right now, let's go down to the sidelines. The third member of our broadcast crew today, Jay Glazer. Jay, what's up?
Well, thanks, guys. You keep talking about Greg Williams and the #1 rated defense, but to date, Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers are certainly their biggest test of the season. I don't think that's lost on the Redskins players, because this week, Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, goes into his office and finds this hanging up in his office. Where have you seen me? And I think you'll know the guy in the picture there. Well, the bottom is great. Last known whereabouts, getting the ball to number 30. If found, please sack for a loss, remove football immediately, and notify Wisconsin Cheesehead authorities.
Second down and 4. Favre deep down the middle of the field. Got Donald Driver into Redskin territory inside the 25, 41 yards before Sean Springs can take him down.
Hey, Jay, I think the Redskins know where Brett Favre is. And he is throwing the ball as well as he ever has. They right now freeze the safety. Remember, you got 2 young safeties in there. They replaced both starting safeties in the last 3 weeks. Matt Bowen out for the season. Sean Taylor suspended for today. Replaced there by Ryan Clark, who got frozen by the play-action fake of Brett Favre.
Green, the deep back, 2 tight ends, Bubba Franks and David Martin in. Now Lucci joins in the backfield. That's Green. Stutter step, finding a little room inside the 20. Down to the 19-yard line. Nice block in there by Marco Rivera, gain of 6.
The Packers coming out for the 3rd week in a row hot. And for the 3rd week in a row, that man, Mike Sherman, is calling the plays. And Brett said it's nothing against Tom Rousley, who has been the play caller for years. Mike Sherman doesn't particularly like it. He says it's stressful. It takes him away from other duties. But he really takes a lot of input from Favre. And Brett said in the last 2 weeks, he's given him 10 suggestions. He's used all 10 suggestions.
Favre with the Packers moving the ball in their first possession. Fakes the give to Green. Now looking left side, wants Javon Walker. Incomplete. Fred Smoot out there in coverage for the Redskins.
It's a heck of a play by Fred Smoot, because Javon Walker leads this league in receiving yards. They cross the receivers right there. Fred, though, gets a good look on Favre. He gets a good chance to react. And how you play the ball in the air on Sundays determines your fate on Sundays. Javon Walker is a big receiver. It's hard to get around him like that.
Maybe trying to use his size there.
Yeah.
6'3", 215 to Fred Smoot, 5'11", 174.
Like low post basketball down there.
3rd down and 4. Favre to pass again. Got Green right side. Wrapped up, taken down, short of the first down. Nice open field tackle by Antonio Pierce.
Well, Antonio Pierce leads this defense in tackles. It's a heck of a story. This kid was never drafted. Marty Schottenheimer brought him in here, gave him a chance, and with the injury to Mike Barrow in the preseason, he has taken advantage of this opportunity, and that was a good tackle on a great back in the open field.
37-yard field goal attempt coming up for Ryan Longwell. He has made 35 straight field goals inside of 39 yards. Kick is up, and it is good, and he's now made 36 straight inside of 39. The Green Bay Packers jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Redskins will get it back when we come back. Green Bay Packers jumping out to a 3-0 lead. Their drive, 11 plays, 69 yards, 5 minutes, 22 seconds off the clock. This team on offense just continues to be efficient and get things done.
Yeah, you know, they had a shot to the end zone there. They threw the ball up to Javon Walker. You like your chances with the leading receiver in the NFL, but Fred Smoot, good defensive play, but a good opening drive by Green Bay to continue the flurry of offense the last 3 weeks.
Longwell the kickoff, Chad Morton at the 10, 25, 30. Morton across the 35. Flag comes in as taken down at the 39-yard line. Bowju with the tackle on special teams. Morton stays down, holding that right knee. Training staff will go out and take a look at him. We'll also find out about that penalty flag.
Holding, number 98, during the return. It's a 10-yard penalty. It'll be a first down for Washington. Timeout.
Penalty called on Lamar Marshall. That'll back the Redskins up out of great field position. They'll have it, trailing by 3 when we come back.
Electric time of the year here in Washington, D.C. I mean, the election has been building up here, and it all comes to the polls on Tuesday. Chad Morton limps off that field. He's grabbing his right knee at the end of that return.
Redskins now first down and 10. Cooley in motion. Brunell to pass. Had some time. Now he's got to run it out of there. Dives across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Gain of 5.
Mark Brunell used to be able to do that a lot. He used to be able to pull the ball down and take off, and he was a real dual threat. Remember now, he started his career in Green Bay. He was there with Brett Favre for a couple of years. In fact, he can still remember his stats from 1994.
Yeah, he threw those right out at us.
Hey, I remembered everything.
Well, he was commenting on the fact that Jacksonville had seen something in the limited time that he had played. Right side Portis gets across the 25. Let's quickly get to LA again for a game break. Find out what's happening around the league. JB.
Hey, Dan, Giants looking for their 3rd straight win in Minneapolis, that is, capitalized on a 38-yard pass interference call. Tiki Barber, NFL's leading yardage maker from scrimmage with the touchdown run. 10-0 Giants. And hey, Baldy, yeah, Dan's stomping grounds are in Detroit and formerly in Washington. Now back to Dan.
Thanks a lot, JB. Yep, good to be back home.
I tell you, the Giants coming off a horrible defeat at home. That would be one way to turn around and go up to Minnesota. Put one up on them.
3rd down and 1 for the Redskins here. Portis got the first down out to the 30-yard line. Gain of 4. Niall Diggs makes the stop for Green Bay, but the Redskins move the chains. Well, you mentioned the fact that Mark Brunell, a former backup to Brett Favre, and there have been a lot of backups that have gone on to start around the league, but a nice chance to say hello to each other before the game.
Oh, there's a whole list of guys that have backed up Brett Favre and gone on and played in this league and started and taken their team to playoffs.
So after the run by Portis, Redskins first down and 10. 3 receivers in the game for Brunell. Again, Brunell with an audible at the line. Play clock winding down. Redskins do get it off. Sets and throws. It's going to be incomplete. Gardner wanted a call, not going to get it. Niall Diggs, now Harris out there in coverage for Green Bay.
I tell you, that Al Harris right there. I mean, he finished the whole game last week against Dallas, but then didn't practice this week because of a bad sprained knee. And he likes this challenge of getting up in receivers' faces. He's right on top of Rod Gardner. I mean, he's one of those guys who's right on the board about every play of keeping his hands on too long. But he likes to play a physical style, and he loves to play the game.
Brunell's first incompletion of the afternoon brings up a 2nd down and 10. Robert Oil in motion. Packers defense shifts as well. Play action fake to Portis. Rollout. They hit Coles. Coles stops short of a first down. Niall Diggs doing a nice job to track him down. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Well, that bootleg play has been their favorite play action all year. And it's natural for Brunell, being left-handed, rolling to his left. Defense, you have to know that it's coming. This is KGB out here, number 94 for Green Bay. You've got to feel that. He actually gets a nice cut block on him that time, which allowed that ball to get off. But if that end plays that, there is no play. He gets in the quarterback's face, and there's no place to throw the ball.
Redskins now again 3rd down and 1. A moment ago, they converted a 3rd and 1. Betts comes into the game. Jacobs in motion. Throws it out there. Jacobs has to go up to get it, and because of that, he goes down short of the first down. Flag comes in as well, but Grady Jackson went out to make that tackle.
Well,
and it's going to be against Washington.
Mark Brunell, for the 2nd straight 3rd down, last series and this series, makes a bad throw.
Holding, number 52. Offense, penalty is declined. 4th down.
Those are 2 drives that could have been kept alive if Brunell had thrown something a little more accurate.
Yeah, you got to put the whole key to playing quarterback is making quick decisions and being accurate with the football. And if you can't do either one or one or the other, then you're not going to be an effective quarterback. And right now, they need better play. And coming off the bye week after working on the passing game, it hasn't clicked yet here today.
Tom Tupa set to punt it away. Antonio Chapman back deep, line drive punt. Chapman's going to let it bounce. Now he picks it up on one of the big bounces. Back across the 25, leveled right there. What a big hit on special teams, as Mike Sellers was the 2nd man in, but he made his presence known. Green Bay leading by a score of 3-0. They've got the football. We'll be right back. Had the paint on Halloween?
Yeah, no. I mean, but that's what they do every Sunday here. I mean, the Packer fans travel. because they can't get tickets at Lambeau Field. They got to go elsewhere.
Come on, you add the crown for Halloween, right?
I tell you what would Brett Favre do if they put him on the polls on Tuesday in the state of Wisconsin? I mean, does he carry the state?
He'd acquit himself very well. Favre back, eludes the pressure, now sets and goes deep, looking for Javon Walker out there, incomplete. But how about Brett Favre first eluding Fred Smoot and then finding time to throw?
Dan, he just threw that ball from the 10 to the 10. He just threw it 80 yards. Fred Smoot comes off the corner. Everybody is a pass rusher in this defense. Favre somehow, I mean, that wasn't even a shake off or bounce off. Actually, I guess it's from the 20 to the 10. Yeah, I mean, he throws it here from the 18-yard line. The ball caught a little helium, landed at about the 10.
Favre still got that gun. Second down now, rolling right. Favre throws, wanted driver, incomplete, lost the football, then got drilled. Nice hit by Sean Springs. You know, Andre Lott from his safety position.
Brett Favre last week against the Cowboys, he took a shot to Leroy Glover's helmet, following through on a ball, and the two front knuckles on his throwing hand were bruised. And I mean, he's still having a hard time holding on to it, but these two knuckles right there swelled to the point where this was a golf ball all week long. Black and blue, he said he couldn't pick up a football till Friday.
Three receivers for Favre and the Packers, Walker, Ferguson, and Driver. Facing a third down and 10. Favre throws for it, got it to Walker. Walker across the 40 to the 43-yard line, taken down by Ryan Clark, but a first down and a gain of 18.
Well, I tell you, he stood in there with some pressure, too. Set his feet, threw the ball to the outside to Javon Walker. Working against Walt Harris, their third corner. Javon Walker went over to see his school, Florida State, get beat by Maryland a couple miles away at Byrd Stadium the other day. I think they would have liked to have suited him up.
Wow, rough day for Florida schools in college football.
Miami, Florida State.
First down, Packers. Green taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Let's get it to L.A. James Brown standing by with more. Hey, JB.
Hey, Dan. Dallas tight end Jason Witten making up for the loss of the wide receivers to injury. His fifth catch on this drive, 17 yards to pay dirt. All tie in Dallas. Willis McGahee starting for Buffalo. 5 rushes, 54 yards in the first quarter. His and Buffalo's first rushing touchdown of the season. Amazing. Back to Dan and Brian.
All right, JB, thank you very much. Second down, 13 now for Favre and the Packers. Play action fake. Favre sets, going deep again. Throwing it for Ferguson. Got him inside the 15. Driven out at the 12. Another big gain as he beat Ryan Clark. And the Packers continue to go downfield. That time it results in a 48-yard gain.
The protection was outstanding as well. Favre had nobody in his vision here. Washington doesn't blitz. They only rush 4. Look at this alleyway right here he has to throw the football to. You give Brett Favre that kind of alley and let his receivers work down the field. I mean, if it's not Walker, it's Ferguson. If it's not Ferguson, it's Driver. He's got weapons.
On Green next to Favre, who's in the shotgun. Bubba Franks in motion. Fakes the give to Green. Now Favre rolls out. Gets it out there to Franks. Strange looking throw, but effective as he got down inside the 5-yard line.
Was that a hook shot? It wasn't a throw, it was a hook shot.
Somewhere Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is smiling.
I haven't seen that release before. Sometimes you say, you know, you just got to create out there. It's a little bit of street ball sometimes. Watch this throw.
Well, that's going to do it for the first quarter. Redskins trailing 3-0. Packers knocking on the door again. Back gets set to go here in the second quarter. Packers leading Washington 3-0.
Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator right here, making a final change before this play. He said the one guy he is not going to let him beat in this area of the field is Bubba Franks, the tight end for Green Bay.
Kevin Berry has checked into the game, adding some bulk to that Green Bay offense. Brett Favre telling Javon Walker to go in motion, switch sides of the field. Green the deep back, Lucci the up back. Givers to Green, trying to right side, wants the corner, taken down at the 5, rolls ahead to the 3. Andre Lott doing a nice job to come up for his safety position to force the play.
Good force. You know, the Packers can still get a first down here. I mean, they're very close right here on 3rd down. They really have 2 options. They can throw it here and go for the touchdown. They can still run it and go for the first down. They like running behind Nick Lucci right here. And the big extra tackle, Kevin Barry, over on the right side.
Nick Lucci, 273 pounds, leading the way. Green gonna have the first down as he gets down close to the 2-yard line. Kari Campbell making the stop.
That guy right there, Kevin Barry, more teams in the NFL should do what the Packers do. He's a 335-pound tackle, but he lines up eligible at tight end when they want to run the ball. And they tell everybody, we're running the ball, we're going behind him, an extra tackle on the field, more bulk on the line, and it's hard to match up with that. I mean, he's their biggest lineman, Kevin Barry.
They're going to measure here.
Well, you put a 275-pound fullback in there as well, and Nick Lucci, and you get a lot of bulk for Ahman Green to run behind.
I'll tell you, that was not a real generous spot.
No.
And it looks like they're going to be short. I thought he was down closer to the 2-yard line. That's going to bring up a decision for Mike Sherman.
No, it's interesting. Mike Sherman is now the play caller. He's also a former offensive line coach. I think he still thinks like an offensive line coach, and he wants to give this ball to his offensive line.
This is a challenge.
It's a challenge. And, you know, if you're the #1 ranked defense in football like the Redskins are, you rise to the challenge the way 90,000-plus fans are inside the stadium.
They are standing up and cheering. So far, Ahman Green, 5 carries for 8 yards. LeVar Arrington on the sidelines. They thought he would play this week. Tweaked his knee on Monday. Not in uniform today. 3 tight ends in for the Packers. Lucci the up back, Green the deep back, 4th down. Favre fakes it to Green, throws left side, wanted his tight end David Martin out there, incomplete, but a flag comes in.
Lamar Marshall covering David Martin, his only option on this throw. You can face guard a receiver as a defender. You can't touch him, though. And I don't know if there's contact on this or not.
Pass interference. Number 98, defense in the end zone by rule. The ball we placed on the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
There's David Martin right here. He's going to slip out the back door here. Favre doesn't see anybody onside.
You know, tough thing on that is it looks like the Redskins had it read, but Marshall didn't get good position. Green trying to get into the end zone, does. Touchdown, Packers.
Well, you give this offense an extra chance down there, they're not gonna mess it up.
We told you the Packers scored on their first 7 possessions last week against Dallas. They have now scored on their first 2 possessions here against the Redskins.
And that man right there, Mike Sherman, deserves some credit. He's calling the plays. He gave it to the offensive line, whether the call was right or wrong. He was aggressive in going for it on 4th down.
Ryan Longwell in for the extra point. Spot down, the kick is up, it is good. The Packers extend, a touchdown by Ahman Green, and right now it's Green Bay 10, Washington nothing.
Well, those are 2 adjectives that you would use to describe Favre here in the last 3 weeks. He has been outstanding. He's been extreme. He's done it under duress, under pressure, through injuries, and really Mark Brunell has not been able to produce. It's Chad Morton.
Ligament tear in his knee, Chad Morton done for the day. When you hear that, you fear that it might be a while longer. Longwell with the kickoff. Thrash and Betts back deep. That's going to be Betts who will field it at the 2-yard line. Betts back to the 15, cutting at the 20, taken down inside the 25. And that's where Washington will have it. Redskins trailing by a score of 10-0. Their offense coming on the field. They got to get something done. Redskins and Packers, we told you that over the last 17 elections, when the Redskins have lost their final home game before Election Day, the incumbent party has been voted out. So this score right now would bode well historically for Senator John Kerry. George Bush, perhaps concerned for good reason. We'll see. Redskins try to put something on the board for the Republicans. Clinton Portis trying to find some room, not much there, taken down at the 32-yard line. Niall Diggs making the stop, 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8 coming up.
This, you know, when you want to be a running football team and you want to control the clock and do those kind of things, the thing that always comes into question is, can you come from behind? And down 10-0 right now, and you don't get the feeling that Brett Favre is going to get slowed down much today. You've got to get the ball in the air, and you got to challenge this secondary right now.
Well, the challenger, Clinton Portis out across the 40. First down to the 42-yard line. Bowju making the stop. Portis picks up 14.
Now, runs like that kind of help your offense, too. You know, I mean, they've kind of found themselves a nice little play right here. Just one back set. Good cutback that time. Right behind the center, Corey Raymer.
First down and 10 for Brunell and the Redskins. Brunell again audible at the line. Fakes the give to Portis, sets, looking down the right sideline, throws, got it complete to Coles. Coles into Packer territory at the 45-yard line, 13 and another first down.
Well, they got aggressive this time. They opened it up here a little bit, got both Coles and Gardner. Here's Gardner going to run Al Harris off, and Cole's going to come underneath him. That's a timing route. That ball was actually in the air before Coles made his break. It's a sign that the receiver, the quarterback have some timing and some confidence with one another.
Well, that's what these fans want to see, because this passing game has struggled this year. Redskins trying to get on the board, trailing by 10. Portis met at the line, falls forward, gain of 2. Corey Williams, the tackle for Green Bay.
You got a matchup out there for Green Bay right now. Al Harris is going everywhere Rod Gardner goes. Rod Gardner is a guy that can beat Al Harris. Al Harris is playing on a bad knee. He's got a badly sprained knee. He was questionable all week. He's a heck of a player, a warrior out there. That's a guy that you might want to test here in this game.
That matchup on the near side, bottom of your screen. Portis the deep back behind Brunell. Brunell's going to throw again, rolling right, throwing out there, got it complete again. Close to a first down, Taylor Jacobs, he should have it. The Redskins will move the chains again.
Mark Brunell thinks that Taylor Jacobs can be a great receiver. He was drafted here by Steve Spurrier out of Florida and really never got a chance to play. Was injured last year after starting the season pretty well. And they just think that he needs to get involved more in this offense. He's probably their fastest receiver.
Jacobs comes off as the Redskins move out of the 3-receiver set. Chris Cooley, the H-back, comes back in. It's Gardner in motion. First down and 10 for the Redskins. Trying to dent the scoreboard for the first time today. Brunell, backside pressure, and down he goes. Ahmad Carroll with the sack for Green Bay, and that's a 7-yard loss.
Well, that was a bootleg and play-action fake, and Brunell had turned his back to Ahmad Carroll, who was coming off the corner here. Here comes Carroll. Clinton Portis is blocking him, and really he does a pretty decent job of trying to widen him as much as he can. But Brunell has got to be able to feel that and get rid of the football.
So that backs the Redskins up right there. Second down, 17 now. Jacobs back in the game. 3-receiver set for the Skins. Play action fake to Brunell, setting up a screen to Portis, didn't fool anybody. Wow, Niall Diggs was right there as if he knew it was coming.
They're just sitting on it. Linebackers just waiting on that screen. One of those screens that just takes a long time to develop. The longer it took to develop, the easier it was for Niall Diggs to sniff it out.
Redskins now facing 3rd down and a mile, 3rd and 24. 2 negative plays have set them back. They had a drive going, now it's in trouble. Need a big play right here.
They need a play to at least get themselves into field goal range. At least get a chance for some points.
Whistles blow, the officials step in. Green Bay's going to take a timeout. Apparently Packers didn't like something that they saw. They're up 10-zip. Big 3rd down for the Skins when we come back.
What's cold? The frozen.
That's the Packers defensive line coach, Jethro Franklin. He feels miserable. Watch what happened here. Forced the Packers to take a timeout. He couldn't get the right personnel on the field. Forced him to call a timeout. I'm telling you, he's looking for a place to hide after having to do that.
Packers have their dime package in the game. 6 defensive backs, 3rd and 24. Mark Brunell, pressure comes, down he goes. Colin Jenkins with the sack, and I'm going to tell you something. What was a 1st and 10 just a couple of minutes ago deteriorated 3 plays for Washington.
Well, they did nothing but go backwards. Got good pressure right off the corner by KGB here. Forced Brunell to step up, and here comes Colin Jenkins. I mean, you can't draw up pressure from 4 defensive linemen against 6 blockers any better than that.
So protection breaks down, and so does that drive. Tom Tupa on to punt it away.
Packers going for the block here.
Chapman coming up.
They're all coming for the block.
Antonio Chapman was only about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, so this ball is going to bounce freely, but still, it's going to be outside the 20-yard line. It's a pretty good break for the Packers. It'll be 1st down at 10, Green Bay. They're already up 10-zip, and they've scored on their first 2 possessions. Number 3 is next. Welcome back. Packers leading the Redskins 10-0. Next week, America's #1 pregame show hits the road to broadcast live from Detroit. The guys break down the Battle of Pennsylvania between the Eagles and the Steelers. Plus, find out who goes 10 yards with TB. Fox NFL Sunday returns next week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, live from Detroit. Only on Fox. Always a pleasure to see those guys at Ford Field. Brett Favre, 8 out of 11 today, 131 yards. 7 different receivers with those 8 completions. Talk about spreading the ball around. Favre to throw again on 1st down. He's got it out to Henderson. Across the 25, taken down at the 27. Let's go back to LA right now and find out what's going on. JB.
Well, Minneapolis, Minnesota, boy, the fans are screaming. Dante Culpepper's 2nd turnover. Tiki Barber makes them pay for it. A 5-yard walk to pay dirt. Dan, they're up 17-0. The Giants looking for their 3rd consecutive win in Minneapolis. Back to Dan and Brian.
You know, the Packers have a bye after this week and then go to Minnesota. Packers win this and get to 4-4, which is their goal. I'll tell you, that once lead in that NFC North could disappear pretty fast.
Favre throwing again. He's got Green wide open across the 30-foot race. Green 50 down to the 40. There he goes, cutting back inside the 30. Finally taken down at the 25. Ryan Clark with a tackle, but a 48-yard gain for the Pack. Beautiful block out there by Javon Walker.
Well, Javon Walker made this play. He went deep, and Favre was looking for him. Decided not to go because of good coverage by Sean Springs, and got Amon Green underneath. Watch Javon Walker take Springs down the field, takes the safety with him. Opens everything up underneath. That guy right there has got to try to cover Amon Green in the open field, and that's not an easy task. Fingertip grab by Amon Green.
Najee Davenport checks in, coming left. Big head of steam. Davenport inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 14. Campbell takes him down, but 11 yards and another Green Bay 1st down.
Well, for the 3rd week in a row, a defensive opponent is looking at a juggernaut of an offense. It was Detroit 2 weeks ago. It was the Dallas Cowboys last week, and it's the Redskins this week. And forget about statistics and rankings. This offense is rolling, and you can't take anything away right now. You got Amon Green out of the game. Give it to Najee Davenport.
I don't want to hear that retirement talk about Brett Favre, not when this team's rolling like this right now. Davenport again, inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Campbell with the tackle again. When Davenport gets ahead of steam going, that's 250 pounds straight ahead.
Yeah, but he's running behind this guy at 275 pounds, Nick Lucci. They both played at the University of Miami. And Nick Lucci melts his linebacker, Lamar Marshall, right in the hole.
525 pounds of running backs coming at you.
Yeah.
Packers got some big running backs on this roster. Even Amon Green checking in at 218 and rock solid. 2nd down and 5 here. Favre set, throws, end zone, touchdown. Too easy. Javon Walker all by himself.
Nick Lucci carrying Favre off the field. 3 drives, 3 scores.
Angry fans.
Perfect execution. if you're the Redskins, what do you try to stop at this point? Because they can't take anything away. Greg Williams said we've got to stop the run, then load up on the pass, but they haven't been able to do it either one.
Longwell with the extra point. It is up and it is good. Packers extend once again. The touchdown pass to Javon Walker. Green Bay now leading it 17-0.
Look at the bottom here. Javon Walker working against Sean Springs here. He takes Sean Springs inside and then pops out. Gives himself a little bit more room to run. It's so precise right now, and everybody is contributing.
Javon Walker the touchdown. 33rd straight game. Brett Favre with a touchdown pass. Also 11 completions today. He has moved into second place on the all-time list, passing John Elway, trailing only Dan Marino. Redskins can't handle the kickoff. They'll down it right there and take it at the 20-yard line. Not much going right for the Washington Redskins right now. Take another look at what happened.
Yeah, well, it's Liddell Betts back there. You never see anybody feel the kickoff with the hands over the head. You always catch it like Willie Mays type catch.
Betts only back there because Chad Morton was lost earlier in the game with a torn knee ligament. Joe Gibbs looking concerned and looking on. These Redskins trailing by 17, trying to get something going on offense. First down and 10 for Mark Brunell and his squad. Fakes the give to Portis, going to roll out, throws it for Cooley. Cooley with some open field, out near the 40-yard line, driven out at the 41 by Bao Ju, but a gain of 21 on first down for Washington.
Well, I think the Redskins have to open this up. I mean, however that is, whatever Joe Gibbs has, they have to open it up, and in so doing, find out if Mark Brunell can be the guy that can lead. I mean, can he bring a team back down 17-0, or he can't? Because when you're making an evaluation here at quarterback, that's one of the things, can the guy bring you back? Can the team gain confidence with you?
First down and 10 again for Washington. Portis across the line, falls forward to about the 43. Gain of 2. Aaron Campman making the stop for Green Bay.
Well, the thing is this offense matches up very well with this Green Bay defense. I mean, the defense right now is just getting healthy on the defensive line. The defensive secondary has been banged up. They've got a couple of rookies out there on the field today. And they got a rookie on one corner, Ahmad Carroll. They've got Al Harris in the other corner with a bad knee. I mean, you got to go test these corners.
Total yards lopsided in favor of the Packers, just like the scoreboard right now. Second down. It's Brunell again. This time under duress. Throws going to be picked off by Bao Ju. Ju back to the 35. Open field. Ju cutting near the 50 and taken down in Redskin territory at the 49. Lavernius Coles made the tackle, but Bao Ju, who's from Chantilly, just about 30 minutes from here, has a nice homecoming right there.
It is a good homecoming. Taking it over for Darren Sharper today. And he said, if Darren Sharper's going to give me the keys, I'm not going to crash the car. And Mark Brunell got hit on this. This is why he gets hit from the backside right here. Watch, now Diggs gets a piece of that ball, and that's why the ball hung up.
These fans are getting restless in Washington. Bao Ju the interception. One of the reasons they're restless, Patrick Ramsey, the backup, was thought to be the quarterback of the future for this team. Mark Brunell was brought in and hasn't played well. Favre wanted to go deep, checks it down, and it's picked up by Springs, coming back the other way across the 40, still going.
Needs a block.
Springs looking for a block. Teammates coming to help. And there he goes. Springs inside the 50, knocked out of bounds at the 39. So a couple of interceptions, and the Redskins have it back. Flags down on the field. 29-yard return, although he probably ran about 60 yards. Sean Springs.
These corners have played well this year, and they needed that play to stop the bleeding. Some of this return is going to come back from Sean Springs.
Redskins walking back the other way. Tom White will tell us in just a moment what exactly the call is. Looks like the officials are going to have a little conference out there. Well, they must have seen something, and they must have seen it together, because there's 3 flags sitting out there in the middle of the field within about 5 feet of each other. There they are.
Like 3 goblins that just landed out there.
Personal foul. Low block. Number 4, Green Bay. 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
And the end of the run, first down.
Well, the teams had started to go down as if it were against Washington. Instead, it's against Brett Favre. So take another look.
Brett Favre maybe taking out some frustration on this throw. Hung it up just a little bit going for Bubba Franks. Then Sean Springs trying to become the best offensive threat that the Redskins have had today.
See if we can pick up where
There's
that
Brett
penalty
Favre,
came in. There it is.
Cutting Ryan Clark down there in the open field.
All right, Redskins have it back, trailing by 17. Brett Favre looking on, first interception in 3 games for him. Brunell on first down gives to Portis. Finds a little bit of room down to the 20, gain of 4. Bring up second down and 6. Let's quickly go out to Los Angeles for a game break and James Brown.
Dan, you'll be looking at some Lions highlights when you go back home. Take a look at Dre Bly here. If we can get it, there it is. Take a look at Dre Bly, Dan, who you know missed 3 games, jumps on his Vinny Testaverde pass. What does he do? 55 yards to pay dirt. That's his 5th pick for a return and score in his career. Detroit takes the lead, 14-7. Back to Dan.
JB, you said it. He was out. Lions happy to have him back. Dre Bly makes some big plays for that team. Second down, 6 for Washington. Handoff going nowhere. And that's going to bring up another third down. Cledius Hunt reading that well. Loss of 4.
Well, when your quarterback is struggling, you can't have negative plays. When you're trying to sustain offense and drive the football, there's been too many negative plays either by sacks, pressure, penalties today where they have backed up.
Well, these fans have been chanting for Patrick Ramsey.
We see.
I guarantee you, if this third down doesn't get converted, they're going to be chanting again.
Yeah, but he's not getting the ball down the field right now, man. I mean, everything, he's at 8 completions for 60 yards.
Liddell Betts checks in at running back. 3 receivers for the Redskins. Third down and 10. Brunell's going to call a timeout. Come over and talk it over on the sidelines with Joe Gibbs. We'll take a break. Come right back. Green Bay up 17-0. Washington trying to get something going.
Come over and get the right personnel on the field. The play clock was running down too fast, and they couldn't get the play off. And this is a huddle over here during that timeout trying to get things straightened out, but they have needed timeouts at the end of the half and the end of the game this year, and they burned them on things like that.
Redskins again come out, 3 receivers, and Liddell Betts the deep back. Third down and 10. Packers showing blitz right here. Here comes Brunell, here comes the pressure, and there he goes. Kabir Baja-Biamila with the pressure, with the sack, and again, the Redskins are going in the wrong direction. Loss of 11 on the play.
Well, Chris Samuels is struggling on the outside right here against KGB. Got a quick jump on him. He beat him right off the snap. You're trying to change a play at the line of scrimmage like that. The tackles are down in their stance seemingly forever. And it's hard to get out of your stance when you're sitting in it that long. Again, going backwards once they drive the football.
4th and 21, and the Redskins are apparently going to go for it.
Well, they burn another
Washington's
timeout.
going to take a timeout and come over and talk about it. I tell you what, interesting call to go for it here. I understand you're down. We'll talk about it. You know, Brian, you're facing a 4th and 21 right here. You're already down 17. I don't understand going for it. I believe in aggressive, but this is a little much.
Well, I think they think it's too far for Ola Kimmerer, who's only been here for a couple weeks, taking over for John Hall. And he was not good in warm-ups today. Missed about 4 in a row. A lot of wind down there on the field, and this is 4th and a long ways here. You do not want to give the ball back to Brett Favre in good field position.
4th down, 21. Redskins going for it. Brunell back to pass. Setting in the pocket, throws underneath. Got it to Robert Royal. Royal driven out of bounds, diving for the first down. Did he get it?
Yeah.
It looks like he did.
Wow.
So Joe Gibbs gambles, and it pays off as the Redskins keep the drive alive. Al Harris and Bao Ju both out there. Needed 21, got 23.
Well, I think the thing that was amazing, he got the ball to a tight end. I mean, Robert Royal is a guy right here, wide open in the field. He's uncovered, but now they don't tackle. Nice presence by the young tight end to know where the first down sticks are.
They cut Walter Rasby, who had started the first 6 games at tight end, because they want Royal to have a chance. Paid off right there. First down and 10, Washington. Brunell play, rolls, throws, Royal drops it. Had him wide open inside the 5, threw it where it had to be, and Royal just dropped it.
But he's looking at his hands, but his hands weren't the problem. He let the ball hit his chest. This is actually a very good play right here. You get Royal coming deep. You get Cooley going behind him. And it has been a problem. I mean, it's not just Mark Brunell. They have dropped a lot of passes this year. The protection hasn't been good. One of the reasons why Mark Brunell is still in there is Joe Gibbs believes that if it was just a quarterback, he probably would make a change, but he thinks it's a combination of everything.
Second down and 10 now for the Redskins. And it looks like they did not beat the play clock, and that's going to cost them again. So they've battled the play clock a couple times.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty remains. Second down.
Tom White's going to back him up. These fans aren't saying boo because it's Halloween in Washington.
This is not the execution they're looking for coming out of a bye week, where they thought they had a lot of work, got a lot of work done in the passing game. Mark Brunell changed the plays of the line of scrimmage, not taking into consideration the clock.
Gardner at the top of your screen, that's Cooley in motion. Holes at the bottom, deep back. It's Portis setting up the screen to Portis inside the 20, upended right there by Ahmad Carroll. Clinton Portis might be a little dizzy after that hit.
And he did get flipped upside down here. Green Bay is playing excellent here. I mean, they snuff out these screens right here. They're tackling well. I mean, 3 weeks ago, they couldn't tackle anybody. On that Monday night loss to Tennessee, I mean, they were leaving their feet, missing tackles.
Well, timeout down on the field, 2-minute warning. Redskins trailing 17-0. They've got the football in good position. See how they do when we come back. Stay with us. In the last 17 elections, the Redskins have won their final home game. Before the election, the incumbent party has stayed in office.
John Kerry's
winning
smiling
right now.
Yeah, Kerry's smiling at this.
George Bush and his staff hoping they can punch something in right here. Third down, 14.
You know the blitz is coming. You don't know which one is coming up with their line of scrimmage.
Crash in motion. Here it comes. Decent protection. Throws it out for Portis. And that's going to be pass interference. Contact called out there on Curtis Fuller, who just grabbed a hold of Clinton Portis.
Well, that was huge on 3rd and 13 to get, you're going to get an automatic first down on this.
I think Fuller knew that was going to be a touchdown because Portis was going to run right by him.
Holding. Defense. Number 21. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down.
Well, Green Bay is attacking here. Everybody up in the line of scrimmage. Portis is coming here on the outside. On the outside, you're one-on-one. Just holding up right here. And that's all he could do was tackle him. That's all Curtis Fuller could do is Clinton Portis came exploding out of the backfield.
Well, that gives the Redskins a first down now. First down at 10.
Vernius Coles without a touchdown catch this year.
That's Portis in motion. Fake on the give to Portis. Brunell rolling out, got his man. Touchdown Redskins, Rod Gardner. 12 yards on the play, and the Redskins are on the scoreboard.
Well, the Redskins needed that drive. It all got started by the interception by Sean Springs. Got him good field position. Got a little break on a pass interference call, but Mark Brunell was able to finish that drive.
That's big for Mark Brunell. Had a couple of errant throws on third downs early in this game. Right on target there, though. Ola Kimbrell kicking today for John Hall, still out with that groin injury, in to attempt the extra point. Kimbrell sends it up, and it is good. The Redskins on the scoreboard, now trailing by 10, 17-7.
Back outside. Nice job of trying to find the opening there. Good connection with Brunell. When they have gotten plays today, or really all this year, it has been off that bootleg fake right there. And if you're Green Bay, you got to start overplaying that bootleg and rushing the end upfield and getting into his face.
Well, there you see the drive, 7 plays, 24 yards, 3 minutes and 1 second off the clock. The downside of that is that they left Brett Favre in this offense a minute 50 here in the first half.
Brett Favre did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday, came out Friday, did his 2-minute drill, was 32 for 32 in practice. They said the ball never hit the ground.
Green Bay 2 timeouts left here late in the first half. Kimbrell with the kick. Back deep, it's going to be Davenport in the end zone and bringing it out. Davenport across the 15, across the 20, finally taken down at the 23-yard line. Special teams tackle by James Thrash, 26-yard return. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JV, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have the latest NFL scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up-to-the-second stats. Interesting games going on around the league.
Yeah,
Minnesota, the Giants.
That's the target for the Lambeau leap right there. Pretty big wall right there. You know, Brett Favre has a whole set of plays at this time of the game, this 2-minute drill. They like to kind of start usually with a screen or a draw.
Well, Redskins bring their dime package in, 6 defensive backs. Favre going from the shotgun, setting up a screen to Green. Green across the 25, across the 30, and out at the 36-yard line. Fred Smoot takes him down, but a gain of 12, and a first down for the Packers. You think they're going deep, they come underneath on you.
Well, he said that. I mean, Brett Favre told us, he said, we haven't been a good screen team this year. We have been in the past. It's an area of this team right now that we want to get better at. The way this offense has performed, you wonder, how do you get better?
Favre throws that time, got it open to Martin, and Martin's got open field into Redskin territory, down to the 39-yard line, taken down by Pat Dennis, 25 yards on the play. Packers now with 1 minute remaining in the first half and 2 timeouts, in good shape. Favre in no hurry. There you see, offensively, Green Bay has already surpassed what Washington normally gives up. Favre, Javon Walker, ball comes loose, fumble, and it looks like the Redskins got it back. Both teams pointing in their direction, and it's Redskins football. Walt Harris forced the fumble, and the Redskins got it back.
Boy, back-to-back series, the Redskins defense have risen up and forced turnovers. Sean Springs with an interception and a fumble right here to Javon Walker. Walker is wide open on this catch. Curls inside the zones right there. Nice job of forcing it out by Walt Harris. Good hustle by the defensive line to come back and help on the recovery.
Looked like Philip Daniels might have ended up with a football. There is a flag down on the field. The Redskins are clapping as if it's against Green Bay.
Boom. Poked out there.
On the field. This is a catch, and he turns upfield with the ball and then fumbles it. It's subsequently recovered by Washington. At the end of the play, there's a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 67, Green Bay, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Nothing will turn a football game around quicker than turnovers. You see Walt Harris knocks this ball out here. Good job of just poking it loose.
So the Redskins, with 1 timeout left, off of this turnover, have new life. And they got to be thinking about putting something else up on the scoreboard, trailing by 10 here late in the first half. 38 seconds to go. As we said, the Skins do have 1 timeout left. 3 receivers in the game for Washington. Bell's going to pass on first down. Throws, got it complete across the 50. Flag comes in. Catch was made by Clinton Portis. But hang on a second. Penalty on the play.
The good thing about Portis is that when you're down and you have to kind of abandon the running game for a while, he can help you in the passing game. Ball's coming back.
Illegal formation. Number 88 is covered up on the end of the line of scrimmage by number 87. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So that'll cost the Redskins. They will move it back. After the completion, they were in Packer territory. Now looking at the second down from their own 43. Check that, first down at 15 from their own 43.
That last penalty is a mental error on Rod Gardner, not to get off the line.
29 seconds now for Goodell and the Redskins. Sets in the pocket plenty of time. Finally dumps it out to Clinton Portis, who couldn't get out of bounds, and that's a big play because the clock continues to move. Ahmad Carroll got a hand on it before he could crawl out.
Remember, the Redskins burned a lot of timeouts early in this half.
Well, they've only got one left. And the clock now down inside of 10 seconds. Now they use the timeout. And that's just not good decision making. You need to do something quicker right there.
Well, all the fans know it. I mean, they all are playing their PlayStation, you know, and they're all playing their video games. They all have played this game and coached it. A bad job on using all their timeouts here in this half.
Well, if you had used the timeout with 15 seconds, you'd try to get a play down the field near the sideline, which would give you a chance to kick a field goal. Now, you're in a difficult spot with 7 seconds to go and no timeouts.
Yeah, the other issue is that the throw to Portis was not a good throw. And so Portis wasn't able to catch it and get out of bounds and to stop the clock. He had to jump up for the ball, fell down when he did, and he wasn't able to get out.
Credit to Green Bay on that last play as well. Brunell had forever in the pocket, wanted to go downfield, and there was nothing there.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in the first half from the Redskins offense today. We've seen bad job with the timeouts. There they are, used unnecessarily some of the times. Not at the right time. Illegal formations. Bad personnel groups out there on the field.
Again, 3 receivers set for the Redskins. 7 seconds to go.
Timeout. Green Bay.
7 defensive backs in there for the Packers. They know what's coming. Curtis Fuller was back on about the 15-yard line, making sure if anybody slips through, they're going to have to get by him before they get to the end zone.
Well, the way the Packers lined up on that play, there is room to catch a ball 25 yards down the field and get out of bounds with the tick left and to send your field goal team on. They're inviting them to make that throw. You need an intermediate route about 25 yards down the field. Well, so your fastest player is Taylor Jacobs. Get it to the guy that can get down to the fastest.
Joe Gibbs would not be specific with us about how he felt about Ola Kibrin and what his range was, but he did kick a 65-yarder when he was with the Broncos. Now, granted, you get some altitude out there, but 65 yards, you still got to be good from 56, 57 somewhere else. So you know the kid's got a leg. Redskins trying to give him a chance right here.
Redskins have a Hail Mary look. 3 receivers to the right side.
Trips right. Brunell setting up. This will be the final play of the first half, barring a penalty. Brunell throws it down there, and it's going to be incomplete. And that's going to do it. So the Redskins will go to the locker room, coming up empty on their final possession. Nick Barnett deflected that one away. Green Bay got to feel good, leading 17-7. And their offense just continues to play at a high rate. And if you're the Washington Redskins, if you look at that final play again, you know, Baldy, they're going to have to find some way to get some consistency out there.
Oh, there's no question about it. And it starts with really having these wide receivers attack the Green Bay secondary. You got to hold up protection-wise, but that's what they have to do at halftime here, is to attack this Green Bay secondary. Favre has been outstanding. 2 turnovers stopped this offense from being nearly perfect.
Brett Favre so far, 14 out of 18, 234 yards, a touchdown and an interception. For most people, that's a day's work, but there's a half of football to go. But here's the bottom line. The Washington Redskins are within 10 points. They got to get in that locker room and find a way to get something done as they trail, but this one's far from over. Stay with us. More coming up right after this. Through 30 minutes of football, it's been pretty good for the Cheeseheads. Green Bay leading 17-7. Dan Miller, Brian Baldinger with you, and we talked about the resurgence of the Packers and winning their last 2 games. We said it all started with Brett Favre. Today it has 14 out of 18, 234 yards.
Well, he's unstoppable. This Packer offense hasn't punted yet. You know, the only thing that has kept them from blowing this game wide open is 2 turnovers that the Redskins forced. And really, as much as the Packers have dominated this, to only be up 10 points, If I was in the Redskin locker room, I'd say we're still in this thing. You know, we still have a chance. So they're hanging around. They need much better production from the offense, especially in the passing game in the second half.
Well, and it certainly seems they got to cut some of the mistakes that cost them timeouts, cost them good field position a couple of times, and start putting some points on the board. Take a look at the first half stats here. What jumps out at you, Baldy? Maybe those total yards, 259 for the Packers.
Well, yeah, I mean, Brett Favre has completed 3 passes over 40 yards. I mean, the Redskins have already given up more yards in this first half than they've been averaging for an entire football game. But they've saved themselves by the turnovers. So they need to continue that on defense. And then offensively, I mean, I think that they've just got to get their act together. They've got to protect better. They've got to get the plays in faster. And they need better productivity from the quarterback, of which they said they spent their bye week working on.
Fantasy update, Brett Favre with the big numbers so far, as we said, 234 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Mon Green only 9 yards, but he does have a touchdown. Clinton Portis 39 yards. Donald Driver, as you saw, 48 yards through the air. Get set to go here in the second half. Redskins trailing by 10. They will kick it off to the Packers. Robert Ferguson, Najee Davenport back deep for Green Bay. You want to keep an eye on the Packers right here. They are the best team in the NFL when it comes to starting the second half. In 5 out of their 7 games so far this year, they have scored points on their initial drive of the second half. Onside kick, Packers are there to grab it. Bao-Ju comes up with the football.
I tell you, that Bao-Ju from Chantilly, Virginia, is having a good afternoon. I mean, he was going to visit his folks at home yesterday, going back to the old high school, and he is playing alert football because this caught just about everybody in the stadium off guard. An aggressive move by Joe Gibbs to start the second half. You can see these guys backing up. Bao-Ju recovered and really got down, got himself fielded a grounder there very well.
Well, here's the downside of being aggressive. The Green Bay Packers now have it first down and 10 at the Redskins' 44-yard line. Bubba Franks and David Martin in 2 tight ends for the Packers. Mon Green is the deep back.
Brett Favre looks ready to go, doesn't he? At the line of scrimmage, looking deep down the field.
That's Martin in motion. The give is to Green. Green trying to find some room, nowhere to go. Might have lost a yard. Let's go down to the third man in our broadcast crew right now, Jake Glazer. Jay, what's up down there?
All right, guys, I talked to Mike Sherman coming out of the halftime locker room, and he said, hey, our passing game is going well, but we've got to get the running game going a lot better than we have if we want to keep that passing game going. On the other side, the Washington Redskins, they said the Packers haven't done anything to beat us. We've done everything to beat us. They just have to do a lot better job executing. It's nothing scheme-wise that's really hurting them.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. Redskins did a good job against Mon Green today.
Yes,
8 carries, 8 yards. Packers, second down and 11. Favre miscommunicating there with Robert Ferguson. Wanted him right off the line, throws it, and Ferguson wasn't looking for it.
Well, the Redskins put the Packers in a 3rd and long to start the second half after an aggressive attempt to catch an onside kick.
Packers so far on 3rd down today, 2 out of 4. We told you coming in, they were the best in the NFL when it comes to converting 3rd downs coming into today, converting 51.6% of the time. Conversely, as Brian told you earlier, Redskins, #1 defensively on 3rd down. Favre looking right side, throwing for Walker. Got him out there, complete inside the 25, and hung on despite getting drilled. He took a big hit from Ryan Clark.
There is a hole in that zone that is so small, and Brett Favre threw a laser right to it. I mean, here's the hole in the zone that Javon Walker's going to get to, and Favre hits the bullseye. There is no room for error here. That is about as well covered as you're going to get. Sticky coverage on the outside by Sean Springs widens him. Boy, Walker showed some toughness hanging on to that ball after a good hit.
Here comes Favre on 1st down, pitch to Green, cutting it back upfield, down to the 20-yard line, taken down at the 21, gain of 4. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Dan, this is a quarterback league, and it doesn't really matter what your team does. You can play great football. If your quarterback doesn't play well, you don't play well. And this team, in this 3-game winning or 2-game winning streak here for Green Bay, the quarterback has been outstanding. You know, one day, his arm's going to end up in the Smithsonian. I mean, that's just where it's going to retire. Brett will go to Mississippi. The arm will go to the Smithsonian.
I take the other one in the Hall of Fame. Pass for Ferguson, incomplete, deflected at the line by Cornelius Griffin.
Usually, it's really unusual. You know, when you shut down Green Bay's running attack, normally good things happen to you. But Brett has just been that good in the passing attack. Greg Williams told us, he said, you know, in these short sets, 3-step and the ball's coming out, get your hands up. Blocking a pass, that's a good defensive play.
Tony Fisher is checked in, 3rd down and 6. Redskins trying to hold Green Bay to a field goal attempt right here. Favre throws, got Walker again, couldn't hang on to the football, incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. Walker wrestling down there with Ryan Clark. For a quick injury update right now, let's get it down to the sidelines and Jay Glazier. Jay, what do you have?
Well, guys, the Washington Redskins is already without safety Sean Taylor. And if you notice on that drive, Andre Lott was not in there either. There's no official word yet from the bench, but I'm hearing that there is a pectoral injury to Lott. His return is obviously questionable. I don't know if Brett Favre noticed that, though, when he came out. Back to you.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. 39-yard field goal attempt coming up by Ryan Longwell. Longwell with the kick sends it on its way, and he is automatic from 39 yards and in. Adds on 3 more. Green Bay leads 20-7. Skins will get it back next. Dan Miller, Brian Baldinger back with you. Our Jay Glazier was exactly right just a moment ago. It is a torn left pec for Andre Lott. Redskins safety will not return today. Ryan Longwell with a kickoff. Liddell Betts back deep. Betts takes it at the 4. Coming upfield with some open room and across the 30, out to the 35, and take it down at the 39-yard line. Joey Thomas with a tackle on special teams, but a 35-yard return, a good field position for the Redskins.
You know, look, the Redskins gambled to start the second half with an onside kick. It didn't work, but they held the Packers to a field goal. You know, they're down 20-7. This offense has got good field position by the return by Betts. It's time for them to come out here and execute here in the second half. And it starts with Joe Gibbs getting the play in, getting some rhythm here for his quarterback, and executing here. They don't have to abandon any game plan at this point.
Brunell with Portis behind him on 1st down and 10. Changing the call at the line again. We've seen him do it several times. Play clock winding down. Got it off with 3 seconds to go. Nowhere for Portis to go. No gain. 2nd down and 10. Kabir Baja-Biamila coming in there to blow things up for the Packers.
Packers are playing aggressively. I just pointed out in that last play, the cornerbacks are sitting right up on the wide receivers, right in their face. There's a deep safety. Everybody else is crowded at the line of scrimmage to stop the run. I mean, when they do that to you, you've got to be able to sting defenses with the pass.
2nd down and 10 now for Washington.
Look at this. They're all up here, all within 7-8 yards of the ball.
It's Gardner in motion down at the bottom of your screen. Brunell to throw. Has to step up in the pocket. Gets it to Coles. Got a 1st down into Packer territory. Down to the 47-yard line. Hannibal Navies and Bauchu both out there. Gain of 14.
So that time Brunell hung in there. He got good protection. Boy, Lavernius Coles got stabbed by the rookie Ahmad Carroll. That's a heck of a play by the rookie to knock Lavernius Coles almost off his feet. Brunell hung in there though and waited for that route to uncover and to get open.
Coles today 4 catches, 43 yards. Redskins another 1st down, and again Brunell changing the play at the line. 5 on the play clock. They got it off, it looked like, before the play clock came in, but hang on a second.
Yeah.
See if somebody jumped.
They did.
False start. Number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
You know, Brian, when you look at this football team right now, one of the hallmarks of the Joe Gibbs team is that they always looked organized and well coached. This team has not looked organized today on offense.
Well, Joe Gibbs told us, he said that in the NFL there's a 30% change every year in what happens. Personnel, design, defenses. And he goes, I've had to start all over, and it looks like he's starting all over.
Back comes Mark Brunell. throws it underneath, got it to Portis, back into Packer territory. Close to the original line of scrimmage. Niall Diggs making the tackle.
They're still adjusting their rosters here. I mean, they brought Fred Baxter back this week, then they released him. They released their starting tight end, Walter Rasby. You know, they always had tight ends that were involved in the offense, and they're still trying to find that guy. They're still trying to find the guys that they had here, Donnie Warren and Doc Walker. Some of those guys that were here the first time around, they're still trying to find that type of personnel.
Redskins now facing a 2nd down and 11. James Thrash is checked in. Brunell throws, wanted Coles incomplete off his hands. That'll bring up 3rd down. Al Harris in coverage for Green Bay.
Not making any excuses for Lavernius Coles, but we talked to him. He's got a dislocated middle finger. And he said that it is so sore and painful that he actually can't open up, you know, the screw to a cap, to a top of a bottle. And he can't do it. He's got no strength in the hand. He's playing with a toe that needs surgery at the end of the season to repair it.
Redskins looking at a 3rd down and 11 so far today. Washington 1 out of 5 on 3rd down. Packers showing blitz. Everybody bunched up at the line of scrimmage. They're coming with a pressure. Brunell steps up, got Coles, overthrows him. And again, we've seen that numerous times today. That is at least the 3rd time that a bad throw to an open receiver on 3rd down has cost the Redskins a drive.
Well, if you're not accurate at quarterback, then you have to find and make a change, because Lavernius Coles gets open. They've got a good play here. He runs a good route. There it is. That's an open receiver in the NFL. And if the ball is 8 feet over his head like it is, it's sailing on Mark.
4th overthrown pass of the day for Mark Brunell. Tom Tupa in to punt it away as the Redskins come up empty on their opening drive of the 2nd half. Chapman calls for a timeout at the 14, makes it there. Packers leading by 13. We'll have it back right after this.
Good, honest pro football players know when they're not playing well, and Mark Brunell standing right here by himself. The team knows he's not playing well, and he knows it.
Look at Mark Brunell on the sidelines.
One thing about him, you don't see any of the throws in this offense that he used to make in Jacksonville. I mean, for years he made a living throwing the ball down the field to Jimmy Smith, just down the sideline, putting it up there for him.
1st down and 10 for the Packers. Wide open is William Henderson, diving out to the 20-yard line and taken down right there. Let's get it out to L.A. right now. James Brown standing by with a game break. JP.
Dan, Dallas is battling back after a 43-yard pass penalty on Detroit. Vinny Testaverde on the keeper takes it in 3 yards of pay dirt. Dallas ahead now, Detroit, by the score 21-14. That in the 3rd. Back to Dan Miller and Brian Baldinger.
Hey, JB, thanks. Vinny laboring a little bit there, getting around the edge.
Let me tell you, that's a vote of confidence for all 40-plus-year-old athletes. Still think they can take on defense scoring like that.
Amon Green coming left off the pitch. Across the 20 out to the 24-yard line, close to a 1st down. They needed to get to the 24 for the 1st, and in fact, they've got it.
You know, I'm looking down there, and Todd Franz is in there at safety for Andre Lott, who's in there for Matt Bowen, Ryan Clark in there. And, you know, right now, Joe Gibbs made a decision this week to send Sean Taylor home after he was pulled over late on Wednesday night after a party, been drinking, did not take a breathalyzer test, and Joe Gibbs decided to just leave him at home, not even bring him, not even invite him to practice, to sit him down for this game. And I think more coaches around the game in any sports, whether it's basketball, football, professional, college, have to do that to players. And he said that it was mutually agreed upon. Greg Williams had no problem with it. The players had no problem with it. That sometimes, you know, you gotta go ground your kids. Leave them in the room, let them think about it. And that's what he did to Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor will be back tomorrow and working with his teammates. Right now, they're in trouble, down 13 to Brett Favre and the Packers, and the Pack looking for more. Favre going deep. Incomplete, almost intercepted by Sean Springs, had it in his hands and lost it.
Tell you, Sean Springs had that ball. Todd Franz, who we were just talking about, kind of disrupted Sean Springs from catching that, trying to get a 2nd interception today. Favre underthrew that ball. Maybe Sean Taylor back there makes this play. You'll never know.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 99, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Jermaine Haley called for the personal foul, roughing the passer. You'll see it right here.
Oh, wow. That's the Brett Favre rule right there.
I think you got to give Favre credit for being a little tougher than that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that call.
That might be about as easy as he's ever gone down.
Well, Brett Favre going down, nets the Packers another 15 yards and a first down. Tough break for the Redskins. Green, still nowhere for him to go. Stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. Lamar Marshall met him right there. Right now, let's go down to the sidelines. Jake Glazer with a report on another Redskin that's missing today. Jake?
Dan, you've been talking about Sean Taylor, and another Redskin defensive player who's obviously not in this game is LeVar Arrington. Now, Arrington was down here on the sidelines with his teammate for the first half of the game, but he's actually gone upstairs now to go sit down because he said that his knee started swelling up. It started hurting him a little bit. Before the game, the coaches said, you know, he should be out there this week, but LeVar said, I'm not so sure yet. We first want to make sure that both legs get to be the same strength. Back to you.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. Completion to William Henderson, not much there for him. Antonio Pierce makes the stop, and if there's been a positive with this defense, Baldy, it's been Antonio Pierce, who's done a nice job in filling in a spot that was supposed to belong to Mike Barrow.
No question about it. I mean, Antonio Pierce getting a chance to start, leads his team in tackles. And he said that the way Greg Williams coaches, he said there's no backups. They spent a lot of hours in the offseason learning every position. He actually can play all 4 different linebacker positions. You know, and he said that that playbook is thick. He takes it home with him every night. And right now, the defense has a chance to try to get off the field.
6 defensive backs in for the Redskins. Favre, 3rd down and 7. Looks, got a wide open Donald Driver off his fingertips, incomplete.
Redskins they got away with one. Favre knows it too. Had Donald Driver running wide open down the left sideline. Brett Favre's not going to miss this. He's not going to miss an open receiver like this. Right on the fingertips.
Just that close to extending a 13-point lead. Instead, the Packers will have to punt it away. First punt of the day for Green Bay. Brian Barker sends it deep. James Thrash calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 7-yard line. Flag down. Hang on a second. Back up field.
I tell you, the Packers have not been able to put away the Redskins here. They're leaving them around. There's a door open for Joe Gibbs and the Redskins here to come back in this thing.
There you can see it against Green Bay, and Joe Gibbs says, let them punt it again. Redskins would have been backed up at their own 8. So that'll give James Thrash another chance to field a punt and bring it back. Redskins looking for field position, just looking for some spark of life.
Such an important game for both organizations. I mean, the Packers desperately trying to get to 4-4. They told us 3 weeks ago that they wanted to get to 4-4 and go on their bye week and get ready for the second half. And Joe Gibbs trying to put 2 wins back-to-back coming out of their bye.
Big difference for the Redskins between 2-5 and 3-4. That's one thing they told us at Redskin Park repeatedly. That's a big difference.
Well, you want to keep those playoff hopes alive for as long as you can. You want to be excited coming in the doors to Redskin Park to practice every day. That carrot dangles in front of you.
Formation. Number 56, not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, will re-kick.
So Brian Barker will punt it once again. Thrash again, the deep man. Barker gets it to turn over. Thrash driven back down inside his own 10, coming the other way. Thrash gets across the 15, not much more than that. Taken down at the 16. William Henderson, the tackle on special teams. Redskins with the football when we come back. Paris Lennon being helped off the field. Green Bay linebacker injured on the last play.
There he is. You're going to see the left knee just get buckled, caved in. I think he got it out of there in time before it was any damage. Sometimes the scare is worse than the actual injury. Just the feeling of it collapsing on.
Redskins with the football, 1st down and 10. Third quarter, trailing by 13. Cooley in motion leads the way for Portis, spinning out across the 20 to the 22. Aaron Campman with the stop. Take a look at the Redskins' first 7 possessions today, and you see, aside from that touchdown, not much going right.
In fact, you know, just very few yards and no real sustaining offense, because every time they begin to sustain it, there's either been a penalty, a setback, a sack, something has set them backwards.
Now gives to Portis again. Not much there for him. Taken down very close to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Grady Jackson doing what he does, coming up to stop the run.
Well, I tell you, the big difference in this defense for Green Bay the last 2 weeks has been Grady Jackson in the middle. He came back last week after missing a month, and it was a huge addition. And I don't mean that, you know, just huge. I mean, he's a big man that eats up double teams. He loves what he does. He brings a good presence and an attitude to this defense. And Clinton Portis hasn't had any holes inside to run all day.
6 defensive backs for the Packers on 3rd down and 5. Washington complete. And lost it as he went down, but now they're going to say incomplete. He was bobbling it. Rod Gardner appeared to have the football, then went down and lost it, but they're going to say no, he never had control. Al Harris out there in coverage for Green Bay.
Well, Al Harris has played well today. This is sticky coverage. He's been on Rod Gardner all day. See, he gets that right hand. He never stops working that right hand behind the ball here to strip this ball out. Gardner looks like he has it. Watch Al Harris's right hand. See that? The play isn't over until he gets the ball out.
So after the incomplete pass on 3rd down, Tom Tupa in to punt it away. Antonio Chapman back deep for Green Bay. Takes it at the 24. Here comes Chapman the other way. Taken down at the 40. Packers have it back at their own 40-yard line. Mike Sellers, the tackle on special teams. It's Green Bay leading by 13.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is what happens when it's Halloween. Well, that's every day here when you got a Redskin game going.
Halloween's getting to be a bigger holiday, I think. I mean, people are enjoying dressing up.
Got Elvis there, yeah.
Yeah, Elvis. I saw Marilyn Monroe in the audience here today.
Absolutely. Green Bay Packers ahead in this football game right now. John Green with a little room to run over the right side, gets it out close to the 45-yard line. But I'd like to wish you all a happy Halloween, all the kids out there. Hope you enjoy yourselves tonight.
Well, up the road,
a lot of fun.
Up the road, the Eagles trying to stay undefeated playing Baltimore. That's a defensive struggle up there.
Well, one thing's clear, they haven't given Baltimore's defense a touchdown yet, which is the way they've been winning, special teams and defense.
They can carry a long ways when you get good on one side of the ball.
Bubba Franks and David Martin check in for the Packers. They're looking at a 2nd down and 5 here. 2 tight end offense.
Yeah. You learn to cheer early in your life for Brett Favre.
Again, it's Green, this time coming to the other side of the field. Not going to get enough for the 1st down. Taken down at about the 47. Nick Lucci leading the way. Cornelius Griffin with a tackle for Washington.
Let Lucci's a character. You know, he came in and talked to us yesterday, and he's got a hobby that has scared a lot of people away. His hobby is spiders. He's got 12 tarantulas. You know, and they got a bye week this week. He said he's going home this week to change the cages. And I asked him, I said, you know, any girlfriends, you know, they like the spiders. He goes, I had this girl that I was really in love with until she met my spiders. She never called me back.
Shocking. I wouldn't go home to change the cages. I'd go home to change my address if I had 12 tarantulas. That's Lucci right there. Lost his helmet, still going. Lucci down the sidelines, taken down at the 43-yard line.
See that Lucci?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Look at him. What's that thing on top of his head? That thing doesn't fit. That's a big head now.
Spider-Man.
There it is.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size.
Take another look. Nick Lucci, you know, when 273 pounds.
Yeah, you know, if you're 270-plus pound fullback, he said he was 270 pounds in high school playing fullback. That's when you just run without your hat. You know, if you're brave enough courage to pick up a tarantula and put it in your palm, then I think you can carry the football without a helmet.
Tony Fisher in it, running back, flag down. Picks up a couple on 1st down. He did have a flag in there. And this will go against the Packers as well.
Matt Lucci is especially proud of his 9-year-old tarantula. That one named Cleo. Started naming him, and then it was just too many.
That would be a habit that I think he gets
Illegal
sick of.
motion. Excuse me. Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving. And they were getting set prior to the snap. Still first down. 5-yard penalty.
Tom White, always with the manners right there. But if you're Nick Lucci and you got 12 tarantulas, and he says they do bite, and he says it hurts a little bit, but it's not going to kill you, which is a misconception a lot of people have.
You know, there's a pro athlete, though, that is happy to be in the NFL. You know, he left Cincinnati, and he said he just wanted to come to a place that had tradition. And he said coming to Green Bay far exceeded any thoughts he would have about playing with an organization with that much tradition.
3 tight ends for the Packers on first down. Still nowhere for Ahman Green to go. Taken down at the 49-yard line. Right now, let's quickly get to L.A. for an update and find out what's happening around the league. JB.
Hey, Diane, the Giants are spanking the Vikings right now. Kurt Warner hooking up with Jeremy Shockey on a 3rd and 23, 26-yard pass play. Giants score on the next play. 27-0 Giants over the Vikings. Is it deja vu all over again? Back to Dan and Brian.
Hey, JB, thanks. Brian, you got to explain this league to me. Because the Giants looked terrible last week against Detroit. Now they come in and blow the doors off of Minnesota.
Let me tell you, there's no indicators of what a team does week in, week out in this business.
Favre back to pass. Pressure comes. Ball is loose. Favre able to fall on top of it. But a nice job in there. Marcus Washington forced the fumble. Favre able to pick it up, but a loss on the play for Green Bay of 16 yards.
You just wonder just how much Brett can grip that ball with his hand. Marcus Washington does a good job here on the pass rush. He beats Bubba Franks clean. Favre does a good job of getting back on the ball, but this defense, who's given up a lot of yards today, done a good job of slowing Green Bay down and not letting them blow them out here. Keeping them in the game.
3rd down, 33 now for the Packers. Favre's going to give it to Green. Needs a couple miles to move the chains. Flag goes down. He goes down at the 42. Cornelius Griffin makes the stop.
Would you take this penalty and put the ball back in Brett Favre's hands?
Absolutely not.
No, he declined his penalty.
Number 62. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
You do not give Brett Favre another chance with the ball. Good decision by Joe Gibbs.
James Thrash back deep to take the punt for Washington. Joe Gibbs in the Skins still in this football game.
That defense has done a good job here today. I mean, Brett's got to be frustrated here because they move the ball and they don't have points for the amount of production that they've had, as many as they would like. So still less than a 2-score game.
Barker with the punt. Doesn't turn over for him. Thrash is going to let it bounce. Picks it up on the bounce at the 20. Looking for the sideline, but driven down at the 25-yard line. Special teams tackle by Torrance Marshall. Redskins have it back, trailing by 13 late in the 3rd. Plus, find out who goes 10 yards with TV. Fox NFL Sunday returns next week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, live from Detroit, only on Fox. The Redskins are going to be in Detroit next week to take on the Lions. Right now, taking on the Packers. Mark Brunell going down the sideline, looking for Gardner. Incomplete. Al Harris again out there in coverage, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Boy, Al Harris, who was questionable coming in here today, has been all over Rod Gardner. Now, he has given up the 1 touchdown in his zone, but look at this. He has challenged him off the line of scrimmage. They run a little stutter and go. He stays with them, reads the route perfect. But there it is. I mean, Gardner still has a step on him at the end. A good throw beats that coverage.
Redskins looking at a 2nd down and 10 now. Royal in motion.
Goes Al Harris across the formation on Rod Gardner again.
Brunell back to pass again. Time in the pocket. Throws, got it complete to Lavernius Coles. Taken down at the 40-yard line. Gain of 15 and a 1st down. Ahmad Carroll out there in coverage. Tried to pry the football loose. And that's a nice play. As I said, a gain of 15. And that's been a problem for this team today, Baldy. They've been going the wrong way. Because in terms of penalties and sacks, so far today, the Redskins have lost 93 yards. It's hard to win when you give it up yardage like that.
Well, that's their inability to sustain offense. They keep hurting themselves.
Those numbers prior to the last play at that gain of 15. Brunell looking for more here. He's got to run, pressure coming.
Nobody coming back to the football. There's nobody to go with it.
And he'll just throw it away.
There was nobody on that side of the field for Brunell to get the ball to.
Jenkins and Baja Biamila were in pursuit. Brunell felt him coming.
Here's Taylor Jacobs down at the bottom. He doesn't get back into the play. Everybody's coming this way, and Brunell is going that way.
Second down 10 now for Washington. Cole's to the top of your screen. Cole split wide left. Now again, as time's got Coles again into Packer territory, inside the 45, down to the 43. Hannibal Navies makes the stop, but another first down for Washington, a gain of 17.
There's some good throws by Brunell here. I mean, that's what Lavernius is. This is a heck of a matchup here. Gardner's out of the game, so now Harris is on Lavernius Coles. Almost took Lavernius Coles' face mask off. He jammed him so hard right at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. 15 minutes of football remaining here. It is the Redskins trailing Green Bay by a score of 20-7. They're showing some life. We'll be right back. Now, as we told you, as you look at King Cheese right there, maybe that's President Cheese. As we told you over the last 17 elections, when the Redskins have won their final home game before the election, the incumbent party has stayed in office. When they have lost, the incumbent party has been out. Good news for John Kerry right now where football is concerned, but the Redskins trying to get something going right here. Clinton Portis powering his way inside the 40. Aaron Campman makes the stop, but Portis gets 7.
Offense needs a play. And they've completed a couple of over-the-middle passes to Lavernius Coles to keep this drive alive. But the Packers are set to go deep on it because they're jumping those routes, and it's just time to put this ball down the field. And second is short. On this side of the 50 is a good time to take a shot.
Redskins go big. Royal, Cooley, and Sellers all in there. Cooley is the H-back. Portis alone behind Brunell. Portis will get the call. Gets through the line of scrimmage and inside the 30. Kabir Baja-Biamila makes the stop, but Portis gains 8 more.
Portis is saying, let's go. Let's get a rhythm going right here. Let's keep attacking him.
He's already had a rough weekend with what happened to Miami last night, losing to North Carolina. Doesn't want to make it 0 for 2.
Redskins playing a tight formation. 2 tight ends, fullback, just 1 wide receiver. Gardner at the bottom.
Brunell with another first down. Again gives it to Portis. Spinning free Portis at the 25, diving down to the 19. That's just solid running right there by Clinton Portis. Mark Roman with a tackle, but 9 more yards.
Boy, and that is all Portis inside, too. Just incredible balance, being able to make people miss right at the line of scrimmage and keep the feet moving. You see, they get Green Bay going one way, and he cuts back, bounces off a tackle. He gets so low on his cuts, it's hard to grab anything.
Second down and 2. Gardner again, the lone receiver down at the bottom of your screen. Portis, the workhorse right now, getting the call again. Dives forward, is going to have the first down around the 17-yard line, gain of 3.
Well, this is the Redskins' game plan, is to run the football, control the clock. But when you're down 13 and Brett Favre is on the other sideline, I mean, it's good keeping the ball away, but they need touchdowns.
Joe Gibbs and his staff looking on. Gibbs making the play call.
Favre's going to the sunflower seeds right there. He's a little bored. That's an art right there, being able to spit out the shell and eat the seed. Not everybody can do that.
Favre's got it down. Portis today, 17 carries, 70 yards. Brunell, play fake, throws.
Oh, he's got him.
Man, Cooley out there, incomplete. Chris Cooley had come wide open, and Mark Brunell was under pressure, got it away, but couldn't find Cooley.
He had 1 split second to see the pressure and unload the ball. All he could do is just throw it out there. He gets whacked on this ball. I mean, the pressure comes here. Boom, he had 1 split second to see it and to throw it. They haven't had many open shots like that today.
Brunell empty backfield now. Sets, throws, knocked in the air, incomplete. Batted down right at the line of scrimmage. Grady Jackson got it, flagged down as well. It looks like that's going to be against the Redskins.
Yeah,
somebody jumped.
Procedure penalty. We said that they had over 90 yards of negative offense today. Plays that just back them up. This will add to that.
Between sacks and penalties, more than 90 yards, and that's before whatever they tack on here. A decision by the Packers as to whether or not they want to accept that penalty.
Illegal formation. Number 67, offense. The penalty is declined. They'll take the result of the play.
Yeah,
third down.
Instead of making it 2nd and 15, they're going to let him look at a 3rd down and 10.
They called that on Ray Brown, the right tackle there. He must have been too far off the line of scrimmage in the backfield. You know, those tackles have to be up. They like to get back to give themselves a chance. It's a big Grady Jackson in the middle. Here it is right here, but they used to warn you when you were too far back like that.
Ray Brown looking on right there, 19th year out of Arkansas State.
That's a position I think that they have to upgrade here as the season goes on. I mean, Ray Brown is 41 years old. He's still in great physical shape. But I think they've got to get younger there and develop somebody.
3rd down and 10. Brunell of the Redskins down by 13. Trying to get something here. Throws, wants Coles, incomplete. And Brunell got dumped down in the backfield. It looks as if he's holding that left arm a little funny, but he'll walk off the field now. Ola Kimbrell going to come on to try a field goal.
He's taking some shots. He's working on the rookie, Ahmad Carroll. That ball had no chance. Part of the reason was right there, Cletus Hunt getting a load of Brunell.
Ola Kimbrell made his NFL debut last week, 2 out of 2 for the Redskins. This will be from 35 yards. Spot down kick is up. Oof. And it's no good. How about that? Redskins come up empty again. Still trail by 13 with 11:50 to go in this game. Brett Favre and the Packers will have it back when we come back. Not sure if he's on the official ballot, but he'd have plenty of support.
I bet he gets a couple Chads thrown in there.
Brett Favre today, 18 out of 26 for 273 yards. Keeping it on the ground here. Ahmad Green, I should say, take it down at the 24. Let's go down to the sidelines. Jay Glazier standing by. Jay.
Dan, one of the things the coaches kept talking to the Redskins defensive players about this week was the Brett Favre flu. Now, what is that? That's when you're facing a star like a Brett Favre, and somebody comes up with some sort of mysterious injury or an illness either before the game or somewhere toward the 4th quarter because they don't want to get embarrassed when the game's on the line. I think a lot of guys used to do that to you, right, Brian, before they play you balditis?
No.
It didn't happen?
No, I'm sorry, they got wrong, confused there, Dan. No, Jay, that never happened. There's only one Brett Favre.
2 tight ends for the Packers on 2nd down. Favre, time in the pocket to throw. Throws it up for grabs. Incomplete. Fred Smoot was out there. And Fred Smoot came down awkwardly. It looked like...
Yeah, Favre hit that hand again. That hand hit the helmet of Leroy Glover last week and really swelled on him. He just got hit it again.
Brett Favre obviously shaking off that hand injury. Fred Smoot went down and stayed down after he attempted to come up with a pickoff there. We'll get a report on his condition when we come back.
smooth on that last play. Comes down on his shoulder that's been bothering him. Came right down on it. He's out right now. Brett Favre hits not only the hand, but his thumb on that last throw.
Favre looking at a 3rd down and 10 right now. Packed 4 out of 9 on 3rd down today. Got it to Green, got the 1st down, close to the 40-yard line, taken down at about the 39, gain of 13. Antonio Pearson, Todd Franz out there to make the stop, but not before the Packers move the chains and keep control of the ball.
Now Favre is still shaking that thumb. You know, remember last year against St. Louis, he broke his thumb in the game, never told anybody, played the whole game. Last week, you know, he got that hand bruised real bad against Dallas, never told anybody, missed practice. He said his thumb from last year still doesn't feel right.
Packers going big here, bringing Kevin Berry in along with Najee Davenport and Nick Lucci. Davenport, the deep back, gets the call. Met right at the line, nothing there. Maybe falls forward for 2.
Well, if your quarterback is struggling with a bad thumb, bad hand, best thing to do is to use that hand to hand the ball off. I mean, Mike Sherman calling the plays should see those kind of things and take that into consideration when he's dialing up the next play.
Packers will be perfectly happy just to let this clock run as long as they possibly can.
It's like a photo mat over there.
Leading by 13.
That's the backup, Craig Nall.
Is it one of those 1-hour deals?
Yeah, well, it's instant. 60 seconds.
Favre going to throw it, looking right side. Wants Driver on the comeback. Incomplete, but they got Sean Springs. Springs knew he was beaten, just grabbed a hold of Driver.
I think Favre was pretty happy with that because he really couldn't get much on that football. Kind of floated on him.
Holding. Number 24, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. An automatic.
Sean Springs having a good afternoon, shutting down a lot of receivers here in the second half, but that's one of those contact rules pass. See, that ball kind of sails on him, it kind of floats a little bit. Really, there's no need to.
It is not holding. It's pass interference. The ball was deemed to have been in the air already. It'll be a 1st down at the spot.
Well, that's
so instead of 5 yards.
That's a big penalty.
Yeah, that's really going to cost the Redskins. The fans here, the ones that haven't left, are booing. Apparently, a lot of people figuring you got to get to the polls early.
They got the voting booths all figured out this year. You know, they got the.
I've been watching the news lately, and I'm a little worried. Yeah. Hopefully, this won't stretch into January. 1st down and 10. Favre with a pitch to Ahman Green. Green trying to find a hole, doesn't find much. Gets inside the 40, down to the 39.
You look at the Redskins getting up off the ground. I mean, they're still playing hard here, still whacking them. Green Bay has been dominant the last 3 weeks. Antonio Pierce's uniform's getting chewed up. Cornelius Griffin, Brandon Noble, they're still fighting in there. They know that if Ahman Green's carrying the ball, he's susceptible to fumbling. They're going to try to strip it out, try to create another turnover, try to give the offense another chance.
Green, 17 carries, 30 yards today. He goes to the sidelines. Tony Fisher checks in. He and William Henderson back there with Favre. Throw underneath is to Javon Walker. Loses his footing, goes down at around the 36. That'll bring up 3rd down. Let's go back to LA now for a game break with James Brown.
All right, Dan, take a look at Buffalo angling for its 2nd victory of the season. Drew Bledsoe hooking up with Eric Moe's great catch. That over. Eric make that over Dwayne Starks. 24-7 Buffalo over Arizona in the 4th. Back to Dan and Brian.
JB, thanks. Buffalo, not much has gone right for them this year. Not much has gone right for Drew Bledsoe.
Quarterback problems up in Buffalo as well.
Packers looking at a 3rd down and 6 here. Far from the shotgun. Setting a pocket on the right side, throws it out there. Incomplete, underthrows Donald Driver. And that'll bring up 4th down.
This Washington Redskin defense has surrendered 3 points to the Packers in the second half, and that was off an onside kick to start the second half where the Green Bay got good field position. They played very well here, kept them in. They're still in this game.
They're only down 13, and they're going to get the football back right here. They just got to figure out some way to get their offense on track. Redskins looking for a deep man. Finally, James Thrash runs out there. Brian Barker set to punt, just trying to hang it up high in the air. Thrash calls for a fair catch. They'll let it bounce inside the 5 and into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Washington will take over at their own 20, trailing by 13. Still plenty of time left here. Back in Landover, Maryland, just outside the nation's capital. Green Bay leading Washington by a score of 20-7. Redskins have it with plenty of time to go here. Mark Brunell back to pass on first down. He's got to tuck it under, and down he goes. He'll lose one on the play. Aaron Campman and Cledius Hunt teaming up for the sack.
I was looking at Lavernius Coles, and he did not run on that route. I mean, he's trying. Mark Brunell needs somebody to get open. There's Taylor Jacobs on the outside. He runs his route, but Lavernius Coles on the inside never ran hard on that route.
Redskins go no huddle. Brunell back under center and now takes the snap, throws it out there. Got Jacobs out across the 25-yard line. That'll bring up third down, gain of 6.
Dan, this game is a game of matchups. Your quarterback is struggling. You want to get your fastest receiver against their worst defender. To me, Taylor Jacobs is their fastest player. And they've got some defenders out there in Green Bay right now that you've got to go after. Some young players. And that's what you have to do from a design standpoint. Ahmad Carroll's a rookie. Joey Thomas is in there on the slot right now.
Ahmad Carroll lined up against Lavernius Coles. Bottom of your screen, that's the matchup right there you're looking at. Flags everywhere. Wait to see which side jump first. Redskins 1 out of 8 on third down.
False start. Number 67, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
All on Ray Brown. This is his second time around with Joe Gibbs. And that's saying something when you played for Joe Gibbs the first time and you're playing for him the second time too. But
yeah, but
Ray's
from a
been around
personnel
for
standpoint, Dan, you do not need 41-year-old right tackles in this league. You've got to develop. They got Vaughn Parker in here this year. They've got this week. They got to get him up to speed and get him ready to play.
Well, the 5-yard penalty makes it third down and 10. Gardner in motion. Brunell back. Throws underneath. Looking for Portis. Would not have been enough for the first down anyway. That's going to bring up fourth down, and the Redskins are going to have to punt it away.
Well, with the mistakes that they keep making, and they keep putting themselves into third and long situations, anybody would have a hard time converting. But certainly when you're third and 15 like that there, you've got to at least throw the ball down the field to give you a chance for a first down.
This is not going to do anything to quiet the critics of Mark Brunell. There have been plenty of them in Washington looking for a quarterback change. Tom Tupa with the punt. Antonio Chapman back deep for Green Bay, takes it at the 36. It goes out of bounds at the 39. We're going to take a break. Washington winning, check that, losing this fight so far. Presidents in football. Well, before he was president, 1957, he was vice president, Richard Nixon, at the reopening of Lambeau Field. Bill Clinton congratulating the Packers after their victory in Super Bowl 32.
That's American cheese right there now.
A lot of cheese out here today.
Oh, yeah.
They follow this team wherever they go. She's got the cheese going, the pom-poms going.
Ah, you got Batman with cheese? Yeah, sure.
Batman loves cheese. Packers first down and 10. Giving it to Amon Green. Out across the 40 to the 44. Gain of 5 on the play. Lamar Marshall the stop for Washington. Bottom line, though, Redskins have to get the football back. Packers first 3 possessions today, 216 yards. They scored on all 3 of them, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Last 6, 105 yards.
Brett just taking his time in that huddle here. Keeps looking up at the clock, trying to burn as much of this clock as he can. His offensive lineman talked to Mike Wall yesterday, said they would follow him anywhere. They feel bad when they don't protect him well.
Favre lets the play clock run down to 3 before he takes the snap. Nice play in the backfield by Cornelius Griffin to throw Green for a 4-yard loss, and that'll bring up third down.
That group continues to play well. I mean, Green Bay has really stumbled. Some of it their fault, a couple turnovers, but then Washington has just stuffed out the running game today. See a completely different second half for Brett Favre. And if you want to take anything away from this performance by the Redskins, you say the defense is still really competitive.
They have made some good adjustments after struggling early. Favre on third down. Throws.
Wow.
Got it picked off out there. Sean Springs has it.
He's
coming
looking
the
to
other
score.
way. Springs with a blocker in front of him, tiptoeing down the sidelines, and goes out at the 17-yard line. This game is not over yet.
Their best offensive weapon for the Redskins today has been Sean Springs. They just leave him out there on offense. He set up their only touchdown today with an interception. Greg Williams told us that they've got to get at least 2 picks against Favre today. You wonder just how much that thumb and the hand and everything is bothering him, because that ball didn't come out real strong either. Springs got a good jump as Tony Fisher fell down on the play.
Redskins trailing by 13. Nothing less than a touchdown will help them here. Brunell on first down. Straight drop, looking out there. That's going to be pass interference. Bowju caught the football, but that's going to be pass interference.
That was Lavernius Coles, who's going against the rookie Ahmad Carroll.
Or holding if they deemed that the football was not in the air. Any way you look at it.
Yeah, there was contact.
Carroll had a hold of Lavernius Coles.
Holding, number 28, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Only time you sent Coles down the field today. He's been running all these inside routes. That hand on him the whole time. There's some catch by Bowju in the back there. Just concentrating on that ball. I think if it wasn't contact, that would have been an interception.
Redskins again, first down and 10. Brunell with a play fake. Running out of room and throws it away. Pressure was coming out there. Aaron Kent was back there. Brunell had no choice but to just get rid of it. That'll bring up second down.
They spend so many guys in protection that when Brunell does get out there, he has so few limited options. He only had 2 options to throw to on that play. Gibbs always been protection first. And sometimes you've got to get more receivers out there, have more options to throw it to.
Brunell with Gardner down at the bottom of your screen. Portis and Cooley are the backs. Second down and 10. Brunell with time, throws. Gardner's out there. Touchdown, Redskins.
That's been a good matchup all afternoon. Al Harris and Rod Gardner. Gardner's gotten him for a couple touchdowns. Al Harris has defended him most of the rest of the day. But this defense keeps getting the ball back for this offense, keeping them in this game.
Sean Springs with the interception, leading to the touchdown pass from Brunell to Gardner. Ola Kimron on to attempt the extra point. Spot down kick is up, and it's good, and the Redskins suddenly are within 6. Plenty of time left. We'll see what happens and how this one ends up.
Well, the Redskins have life, amazingly. It started with the interception right here on Brett Favre by Sean Springs, his second of the day. Tony Fisher fell down. He got him into good field position. And then Mark Brunell was able to find Rod Gardner through all this traffic here, one-on-one with Al Harris in the end zone. And amazingly here, the Redskins have life. George Bush here, we've been telling you all afternoon, for the last 17 elections, team that wins here, last home game, affects the election. Incumbent team wins, they stay in.
Davenport on the kickoff return gets it out to the 29. Late flag comes in. Brock Cartwright with the tackle on special teams. The sort out this penalty, but you're right. Republican Party has to be heartened by the results that they've seen here so far. Redskins back within 6.
Holding number 22 during the return. It's a 10-yard penalty. It'll be a first down.
Nick Lucci with the penalty. You know, Brian, this is an amazing game because really the Redskins have done offensively nothing but make mistakes. The Green Bay Packers seem to be in control, yet we've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. If the Redskins can get the football back, they can win this game.
Dan, this defense has never stopped plugging. He's never stopped dialing up schemes.
Making noise here. First down, gives to Green, not much. Gets across the line of scrimmage, picks up 3. Antonio Pierce there to take him down. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Redskins do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
I was watching Mike Sherman during the last timeout. He was writing down plays for this series. Plays from that chart, from that menu of his to dial up, to try to pierce this defense. Greg Williams has kept him in there, kept him believing, kept him fighting. Backup players backing up backups in there right now.
Brett Favre has thrown a pair of interceptions today. Redskins showing blitz. Here they come. Favre the pass. Looking downfield, wants Ferguson.
And it's good.
Picked off by Smoot. Smoot down at the 37-yard line, and the Redskins have it back down by 6.
My bad, that was Fred Smoot on the overthrow. Never took his eyes off the ball.
You talked about it in the open, Brian. These 2 cornerbacks would be the key to the Redskins' effort today.
Well, it's been the key all season. It's because what that man, Greg Williams, has been able to do with the blitzes, with the stuffing the runners, because these guys on the corner, Fred Smoot, who was almost knocked out earlier today, look at that. It's like playing center field. I'll bet Fred Smoot was a heck of a baseball player. Never took his eyes off the ball. Heck with the offensive player. He wanted that ball.
Redskins have it back, thanks to Fred Smoot. Brunell, first down and 10. Straight drop, looks, throws, wants Coles out there. Incomplete, overthrows him at the 30-yard line. Cledius Hunt was bringing the pressure in there on Mark Brunell.
Tell you one thing the Redskins have to do is they have to block this man here. Watch him chip with Clinton Portis on KGB.
That's going to bring up 2nd down now. Keep this in mind, in the Packers' 3 victories, they did not commit a turnover so far this year. Today, 4. Right now, Mark Brunell and the Redskins have the football down by 6. 2nd down and 10. Brunell throws. What a catch by Gardner! At the 45-yard line at Green Bay. Looked like it was going to be overthrown, and Gardner, who's 6'2", just leaped up and made the catch, gain of 17.
Well, here's this inside route they've been running all day on the Packers. Most of these balls have sailed on Brunell. This one was going that way. Somehow Gardner came down with it. Hang time, leaping ability, and great concentration all the way to the ground.
Redskins 45 yards away from possibly taking the lead in this game. Brunell to pass again. Throws it out to Cooley. Wrestling out there with Bao-Ju. It's going to be a short gain and bring up 2nd down. Ju did everything but rope him down there.
Now, you know, the Redskins don't have to panic or rush or anything. They have plenty of time here. The other side of the 50-yard line, a touchdown, an extra point wins the game.
Redskins are going to take their first time out of the 2nd half. Brunell will come to the sidelines and talk this over with Joe Gibbs. Tell you what, when you can escape with a victory like this, if the Redskins could, it would be a huge boost to this football team. Because one thing coming out of this, they told us they know they need to play better. They need to pass the ball better. But hey, if you can win when you're not at your best, you love to steal them.
Well, the defense came in ranked #1 in the league. Now, whether they hold on to that title after this week or not remains to be seen. but they have kept them in this football game here today. They have done their job.
Offense needs to do the job right now. The defense is giving it back to him again. Fred Smoot with the interception.
Key man has been Rod Gardner, both touchdown catches. He will be covered one-on-one again by Al Harris right here.
2nd down and 8. Now the pass again. Pressure coming from the backside. Steps up. Throws. Wanted Coles. Knocked away. Nice play by Nick Barnett, who dropped back from his middle linebacker position.
And they run these over-the-middle routes because Brunell is short. It's easier for him to see coming over the middle than it is for him to see on the outside. I don't know if anybody can see with Grady Jackson laying on top of him. Nice play by Nick Barnett in the middle of the field.
1 out of 9 on 3rd down so far for Washington. Looking for something here. 2:43 to go. 3rd down and 8. Thrash in motion. Green Bay coming with a blitz. Gets it out to Portis. Portis is gone. Portis 20, 10, touchdown Washington Redskins. Hang on just a minute. There is a flag back at the 43-yard line. And they're calling him back. How about that?
Fans don't want to stop celebrating.
Illegal motion. The back in motion was going forward prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I'd like to welcome those of you that are joining us from the Cowboys and Lions game. We have a good one here. Washington Redskins, it looked a moment ago as if they had taken the lead, but instead a penalty brought this touchdown back, and they still trail by 6.
I didn't see the back going forward at the snap.
3rd down, 13 now for Brunell and the Redskins. Time in the pocket, throws, going to be picked off. Coming the other way is Al Harris. Harris across midfield, inside the 40, and down to the 37.
Just like that, this game turned completely around. From ecstasy to agony on one illegal procedure penalty. And Al Harris has battled all day long.
They didn't know if he was going to play. He did, and he's played well. Battled against those talented Washington wide receivers. The Green Bay Packers.
Al Harris, of course, in overtime last year at Lambeau Field against Seattle. Here he is down at the bottom. Played the route perfect.
Brunell was looking for Gardner, but he found Harris. Packers just trying to kill the clock now. Amon Green inside the 30. Green still going inside the 20, down to the 18 before Ryan Clark finally takes him down. 17 yards on the play. Best run of the day for Amon Green.
Fans are still stunned. Catch Green Bay in a blitz, and you get the ball to Clinton Portis, and you get a touchdown. It gets called back. The next play, Al Harris.
2-minute warning. Green Bay leading by 6, in great shape. This is the play in which the Redskins lost a touchdown. Brian, can you figure out the penalty?
Well, there's only one man moving here, and it's James Thrash, who they did not call the penalty on. They're saying that he was going forward at the end. He wasn't set. He wasn't completely set. If you're going forward, you got to be set. They called it on Cooley. He was set. He wasn't moving, so it couldn't have been on him. That cost the Redskins the game.
Amon Green on 1st down gets down to the 15-yard line. Redskins are going to spend a timeout here. They have 1 remaining.
We saw a lot of calls like that against the Redskins today. Just, you know, the things, the little precision things that aren't there, that keep backing this offense up.
Well, that's the negative. The positive, as you expressed, is that their defense kept them in. Positive for the Green Bay Packers, if this score holds, is that they're not going to be 4-4 going into the bye after starting the season at 1-4.
And I'll say this, the Packers need the bye. Brett Favre needs to get that hand healthy. I mean, we saw him grabbing his thumb out there today. We know he hurt his wrist last week.
Minute 55 to go. Redskins can stop the clock one more time. Packers looking at a second down at 5 right here. Nick Lucci in there in front of Amon Green behind Brett Favre. It's Green again. Down close to the 10-yard line, down to the 11. Get you up to date on what's happened so far today. Recapping this game. Amon Green with a touchdown. Brett Favre with a touchdown pass right there. Packers jumped out. Then it was the Redskins coming back, showing some signs of life. Gardner with a touchdown. Brunell finding Gardner again. Twice they hooked up. Washington back within 6, 20-14. But unfortunately, that's as close as they got after the touchdown by Clinton Portis was called back because of that penalty we showed you a moment ago. Brett Favre with reason to smile.
Now they want to get out of Washington today, a couple days before the election, at 500. And that would be a major accomplishment. When you think back to 3 weeks ago, after that Monday night defeat at Lambeau, losing their 3rd in a row up there at home.
Give us the Green again, and he's in. Touchdown, that'll do it. 11 yards on the play. Touchdown, Amon Green, his 2nd of the afternoon. Amazing how quickly a game can turn around. Both ways, really.
Yeah.
That the Redskins would have a chance to win it at the end, that they would look like they had taken the lead, that the Packers would now be tacking on to this, what looks to be 13-point winning margin.
Packers came in today 3-4. They were 3-4 a year ago.
Brett Favre's coming back out on the field because he wants to try for 2. Give Green Bay a 14-point lead. So the Packers will come back out and line up for a 2-point conversion to try to stretch this out to a 2-touchdown lead before they give the ball back to Washington. I'd like to welcome those of you from New York who have joined us here just outside of Washington, D.C. in Landover, Maryland. Green Bay has just added an Amon Green touchdown to extend its lead over Washington to 26-14. Packers setting up right now for a 2-point conversion, and if you're just joining us, we have had an exciting one here. Packers leading by 6 when it looked as if the Redskins had gone in for the go-ahead touchdown, only to have it called back on a penalty.
A lot of plays backed up the Redskins today. The none more apparent than the go-ahead touchdown by Clinton Portis when Brunell caught the Packers in the perfect blitz, the perfect play. That's disheartening and disappointing to all Redskin fans and to the coaches and players.
Packers going for 2 to try to extend the lead. He's got it, Ferguson. That'll make it 28-14. The Redskins will get it back momentarily.
Here it is. Get a procedure penalty on the outside somewhere. We can't see it here. Clinton Portis beats the blitz. Brunell reads it perfectly. The KGB dropping in coverage on his own blitz. Redskin fans were going crazy right there at that time.
But it got called back, and moments after that, Mark Brunell was picked off by Al Harris. Playing in his 104th consecutive game and making perhaps a game-saving interception for the Pack.
Well, I'll tell you, Al Harris played well. And on a day when Brett Favre struggled with 3 interceptions and 4 turnovers as an offense, they were able to put up 28 points. That defense, Brandon Noble in the middle and Cornelius Griffin, and interceptions by Sean Springs and Fred Smoot, they did their part. But still looking at that wrist.
Our game summary, Amon Green with a couple of touchdown runs. Brett Favre, 3 interceptions. Washington touchdown called back on the penalty we just showed you. Sean Springs, 2 interceptions. Fred Smoot, an interception. Those defensive backs that we told you at the top would be the key kept Washington in this game. That defense as a whole kept Washington in this game. James Thrash back deep, taking it for Washington. Thrash across the 25, taken down at the 29-yard line. Now, if you haven't been with us since the beginning of the game, this game could have implications on the election come Tuesday. In the past 17 elections, when the Redskins have won their final home game before the election, the incumbent party has gone on to victory, which would, of course, be the Republicans. When the Redskins have lost their final home game before Election Day, the incumbent party has been voted out, which would, of course, mean that this all bodes well for John Kerry and the Democratic Party.
John Kerry.
Past results carry no guarantees, though.
No.
Wherever John Kerry is today, we know that he was campaigning in New Hampshire, Ohio, and Florida. One of those stops. President Bush today in Florida and Ohio. Each of them perhaps looking at this result much differently.
Yeah, everybody I talked to all week long is the election game. We asked the coaches about it. You know, are you comfortable?
The game clock to 1 minute, 39 seconds.
Not helping the Redskins.
Thank you.
I asked the coaches that if they're comfortable deciding our election here by how they play. They all were they're all very political about
very
it. Very
close to the vest.
Very political.
I don't think they wanted their political leanings to become public at that point. Brunell trailing by a couple of touchdowns, back to pass on first down, gets it out to Clinton Portis. Across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Flag comes in. Bao-Ju makes the stop for Green Bay, but again, there's a penalty on the play.
Face mask, number 21, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
But again, we have to say this. If you are one who leans towards the Republican Party, Boston Red Sox broke a long curse this year. So
they reversed the curse.
Doesn't guarantee anything.
I tell you this, watching the Red Sox and then watching football this past weekend, everybody is using the Red Sox as an example of the power of just playing play to play, game to game, and not looking ahead.
Redskins down a couple of touchdowns here. I think that's might even be more significant than being down 3-0 to the Yankees. Especially when you're down to no timeouts. You got Brett Favre and Amon Green on the other sideline.
Well, I think this is disappointing by the Redskins today because they came off a bye week after beating the Chicago Bears 2 weeks ago. The defense played good enough here to win this football game, and the offense just isn't efficient enough for right now.
Brunell underneath the Portis, cross midfield down to the 46. Won't be enough for a first down, gain of 7. Redskins with 50 seconds to go. Need to get in the end zone and try to find some time for an onside kick and a miracle here. He's got Coles and Jacobs to the near side, looking downfield, throws it underneath to Portis again. He's taken down at the 41-yard line. Nick Barnett got him down. Portis didn't think he actually went down, but they blow it dead. That will be a first down after a gain of 6. The Redskins need to throw something to the end zone here. This stuff underneath isn't doing anybody any good when you're down 2 scores.
It'll be a shame if the Redskins go back and watch that play that they threw to Clinton Portis and they find out that there was no illegal procedure. And if that was a bad call, because that's the type of call that can affect the entire season, being 3-4 or 2-5.
You can bet that'll be the first thing coaches look at when they get into the office, perhaps even tonight.
Oh, you can bet they're going to watch it tonight.
7 seconds to go in this one.
I don't think Joe Gibbs will make any change at quarterback. I think that he'll stay with Mark Brunell, and I think he'll look at everything else around it, the play of the offensive line, the play of the receivers, his coaching staff, and getting the right formations and personnel on the field.
This time Brunell looking to the end zone on what should be the final play of the game, and that's going to be incomplete, and that's going to do it. Brett Favre, in his first ever visit to Washington as a Packer, comes up with a victory, 28-14, the final score. Brett Favre talking with his former backup, Mark Brunell, right there. It's the Packers that come out ahead by 2 touchdowns. We'll be back with more right after this.